Holy shit.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former interns tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Welcome to WTF Nation Radio, Monday edition with Ass, Flyesh, and Mom. Holy crap. I almost forgot how to fucking turn shit on and stuff, and how to operate stuff and all that. No idea why. Sorry about the delay. Doesn't mean you're going to get 15 minutes out of me. I'm just saying, sorry about the delay. So, what's going on?
You ate too much turkey. I think that's what happened.
Had the itis. Hey, what's up, Al? Welcome to WTFNationRadio.com's Monday edition, broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. Here with, of course, of our beautiful sponsors, Warhorse Veterans, the Veterans Report, Project Overwatch, Paw Patrol. I had a very interesting Thanksgiving. Very, very interesting Thanksgiving. It was one of those Thanksgivings that were just there are just some family members that are just best left off. Now you know why you only see them a few years at a time. You know what I mean? Just saying.
That weird uncle that likes to touch people?
No, not actually. No, not really. It's just the conversations that are being had, and then you have family members discussing things that they think should be discussing things about stuff that should be discussing things. And I'm like,
What was it, a political Thanksgiving? Is that what you're talking about?
That's not really a political Thanksgiving. No, I dropped that fucking bomb right when I left. I'm like, see Trump. So I let that fucking foment. But no, it was just.
Was Grandma talking about her sex life?
No, it just felt weird. God. It just felt weird. Well, I mean, depending on how you look at things, I'm just as old as probably Grandma. So when you say that, you're like, what do you mean? Oh, hello. So it was just weird. It was a good Thanksgiving. Don't get me wrong. Family and friends hanging out. It was just odd. It just felt odd. I had a lot of food. Holy shit. I had the serious itis when I got home. I didn't even drink no freaking, there's no wine. Some people when they go to Thanksgivings, they like to drink the wine. Yes. And, it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, whatever. I didn't drink at all. I actually took a nap.
Man, you're getting old.
Dude, I took a nap. It was a good nap. I slept enough. It was just weird. It was just one of those, I don't know, it's hard to describe. So What'd you do with in the Flash family for Thanksgiving?
We actually went and saw went to my dad's house when all my family, mostly from my stepmom's side, will all congregate at my dad's house, and we ate way too much of everything. Watched my Giants lose horribly to the Redskins, but also watched Dallas lose. So it was kind of a win-win. It was like a win-lose scenario. So I was kind of like, it kind of evened it out, and ate and drank so much. See, unlike you, I partake very much in the alcoholic beverages, and luckily we steered away from all political talk in my family. But we do have one interesting. My stepmom's brother, who will remain nameless, and his wife are of the other side of the aisle than the rest of the family. Most of the family is either center or a little to the right, except my dad, who's a little more to the right. And then there's my uncle, who's a little to the left, a lot to the left. He's very left. And his wife, who's very left. Well, she goes through spurts of being both a vegetarian, a vegan, a vegetarian. I'm only eating fish. Oh, I'm only eating beef. I'm only like, just, you never know. And we don't ever get like a text, hey, heads up, I'm now this or that and the other. So my aunt, who, well, she's the same age as me, thanks to my stepmom and all that jazz, made a Brussels. Oh, she hates that I call her aunt. Especially now that I have my son, I call it great aunt. That pisses her off. Made this Brussels dish, and it was really good. It was weird, like looking at it. I thought it was chocolate at first.
Don't tell me it's the Food Network macaroni and cheese with Brussels sprouts.
No, negative. We make macaroni and cheese like like what we would serve Jesus, not with freaking vegetables. But it was a Brussels dish. It was really good. So they're sitting at the table, and my aunt is describing how she made it, and unfortunately we got to the point where she said that she used bacon. Well, apparently she's not eating bacon, and like dropped her fork and was like looked at my uncle all like every time, and then he even said, he's like, why is it every time we come in for Thanksgiving you're trying to kill her? And my dad pipes up and goes, oh, I didn't realize bacon killed anybody. So it was a whole ordeal, because I swear, I don't try to make stereotypes, but they are one, and they ended up leaving early because I guess they felt insulted that we didn't make everything vegetarian. But other than that, I drank a lot of whiskey and a lot of wine. It was good stuff.
Well, I didn't say I didn't drink like afterwards. I'm just talking about I just didn't drink in the vicinity of family. You know what I mean? I didn't, because then that's when I'll fucking grab.
I drink because of my family.
I'll grab
that. Like, hey, what's going on, Uncle George? Poor. Just it's sometimes it's just easier. Luckily, political thing did only came up once, and I was immediately went, oh, let me go get something to drink. This will be interesting.
Well, we were making references to how things were cooked, and being of the half German descent, ovens and broilers and jokes like that came out, and it was just stuff like that, you know what I mean? And then then of course the Latino side we were discussing some stuff too, and I was like, yeah. So it was very like I said, it was just quiet. It was calm, quiet, pretty. It was awesome. I mean, like I said, it was good. It's just one of those things where it's just kind of like, yeah, just well, it was good. I mean, yep, good. Kids, threw food everywhere. It was just great. There were some there. I made a dessert and I ate it promptly because I wanted to see what it tastes like, and I did a damn good job, and I made it and I ate it. So not all of it, but the majority of it. I guess.
Well, look at you.
You're not supposed to be making dessert and then just like not eat it, right? So I'm just gonna. If I'm gonna make it, I eat it. So I was all proud. I was like, "Look at this, though! I made it! I made it!" And they're like, "Oh, it's so good! Who had most of it? Oh, me! I fucking made it! Such a dick!"
Hey, the family rule is if you decide to take your time to get to the line, do not get mad when there's nothing there.
Yeah, I got you. I hear you. So, what about you, Mom? Were you busy in your place of business?
Well, yeah, we had dinner at my place. One of the hubby's soldiers or a friend or whatever came over because he just PCS'd here, and he's single, so I couldn't, have him eat DFAC food. So he came over. Then after that, we went over to some of our friends' house. Like these guys were parents of players on each football team, and we had dinner again. And then after that, we drank like a lot.
Oh yeah, see,
My hero.
yeah, I couldn't drink a lot after eating, man. Probably chuck it. I'd chuck. There was, yeah, I'd get sick. I mean, just because the bloatness of all I remember really was just the itis. Just getting tired. I was just tired, dude. I was just like, laid up on the couch here, and then oh shit, it's 8 o'clock. So, would you make a lot of pies or something like that? Did you make a lot of food?
Yeah. I mean, your typical turkey fixins, pumpkin pie, apple pie.
Oh, pumpkin pie.
Nothing special.
Oh, nothing special. That's what it's all about, right there, man. Is the chow. So I think,
Isn't it?
oh, it is. Well, I mean,
From scratch.
yeah. I mean, it's good chow. I mean, that's good chow. What I didn't like was the you know what? I did myself a favor. That's why I was waiting to catch up and soak up on all the news so I can drop a couple of Trump bombs during the
Oh
conversation.
yes, I am so excited. I got my big old glass of wine just for today.
No, but I was talking about right before Thanksgiving, before we sat down to eat. Well, we'll talk about the other stuff. But we're talking about how people we're making a how do I say this? They're politicizing it again. Everyone was politicizing. It seems like every holiday now that belongs to America, everybody wants to fucking take a knee and say that it's bad because of blank. And so I don't know all this whole thing about the Thanksgiving shit that everyone's been shoveling to kids lately. Plymouth Rock, Pilgrims, Mayflower, Indians, and giving thanks. That's really what I was raised up as a kid, right? You don't talk about what do they call it now? There's some people calling it Indigenous Slaughter Day or some shit.
Yeah, like Indigenous Day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was Columbus Day.
Is it?
Oh no, they've been it's in branching out.
Yeah, it's been
Columbus Day wasn't a big enough platform for this, so
no.
take Thanksgiving.
Of course.
For fuck's sake.
Of course. I mean, because then of course, what happens right after Thanksgiving? What do after you?
Hanukkah.
Okay.
Hey, well, it's right after Thanksgiving. Yom Kippur. and
Yeah,
that's
Yom Kippur.
after
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I'll let you get to your point. How about that?
No, you're right. No, you're right. I didn't know. I didn't think about that. I apologize to my Hasidic brothers from other mothers for not bringing that holiday up.
The only reason I remember is because they mentioned it at church that Sunday.
Yeah. Don't forget. Oh, wait a minute. That's kind of crazy. So you went to church and they talked about Hanukkah and Yom Kippur. That's all.
We talked. I have a really good church down in the great state of the great Commonwealth of Virginia, and the pastor's it's a non-denominational pastor's really cool, and we were actually discussing actual like the big picture of holidays and not when they talk about tithing and not just tithing but like tithing your time too. It was really good. But and then he did mention Yom Kippur, and I was like, I've always heard that. I thought it was a clothing line. I didn't realize it was a holiday.
Well, I mean, everybody. Look, let's just be fucking honest, okay? I know as much as people don't want to deny it, and I'm gonna trigger some motherfuckers.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. A lot of our holidays are based on religious events that we celebrate or honor or respect or take a knee against, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, go for sure.
Cue the Home Alone face.
And the sad song. Every one of our holidays have had, and the whole meaning of Thanksgiving is to what? To give thanks and appreciate what you have. Try to do your best to to me, Thanksgiving is all about family. Is all about being with the people that you care about, and then being thankful. You don't have to sit there and throw a fucking big ass make a big hoopla about it, but just in your head reflect on what you should be thankful for in your life, right? Not everyone agrees with that. Everyone seems to think that it was a big deal that you didn't sit there and fucking well, you went in there and slaughtered. Oh, people can't even tell you what the tribe of Indians. They can't even tell you what Indians did they meet. What was it about? When did the first Thanksgiving happen? I mean, if you want to get about some history shit, 1621. 1621 is when the I can't even say this, the Wampanoag Indians shared an autumn harvest feast that is acknowledged today as one of the first Thanksgiving celebrations. What was it for? Because some dudes came and gals came on a freaking boat and sailed across the sea to escape religious persecution for the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the bedrock of soon to be later what we considered the Declaration of Independence. America. And they came over here and they're like, imagine a boat full of caveman. Think about caveman. I don't know how to harvest. I don't know how to farm. So who do you think taught them how to farm? The Wampanoag Indians. Who do you think taught them how to freaking, harvest and all, taught them how to hunt and all this other shit? So it wasn't until freaking, everyone was like freaking out and talking about what happened. Hey, look, there was other tribes and other shit in other areas of the Indians that were there that had other issues with too. They had to protect themselves. They did the same shit. So when everyone's like, oh, that's when it's all slaughtered, that's why they call it Thanksgiving. That's not why they call it Thanksgiving.
The whole slaughter thing, like, yes, I will acknowledge, and I think everyone else should, that in order for the U.S. to become the U.S., along with every other conquering whatnot, you have to get rid of the indigenous people or at least move them out. And that's what happened back then. Was it a couple hundred years ago where none of us were around? I mean, look at Germany. One of my family's ancestral home was conquered by the Romans, who came and conquered everything. And then the Greeks conquered everything. And then everyone conquered everything and killed off people. And yes, it's sad because this is I would probably say the biggest and the most recent conquering of people to create a nation. I think that's a somewhat fair assessment. So, it happened, and that's what happens when you create a nation. When Rome created the Roman Empire, they killed everybody and took over, and then splintered and became Germany, and that's what happened. It was a bunch of settlers a bunch of people that came through from. And then it's funny they're saying all Americans. It was Portuguese and Spanish and French and Germans and British, and they all kind of melded and they all killed off everybody. That's what happened. And calling it Slaughter Day, Thanksgiving was great. It was what happened afterwards was somewhat douchey depending on how you want to look at it. But people just lose their minds.
The Western,
it's ridiculous.
You're talking about the Western expansion. We can't. I mean, I can't fucking because the good old U.S. of Army, the U.S. Army, plenty of they're good at they've been given the big green weenie to everybody since they've been formed. So everybody knows that. Just look at all the the westward expansions of the frontiers and all the treaties that were signed with the different tribes of the Indian nations and all that. But the best thing about it is that the best thing about the history of it, and I should say, now I'm not talking about the history of what happened. I'm talking about the history is that the Native American culture has this shit written down. They have told stories. They weren't plagued by the internet and shit back in the day where it was told by somebody trusted of what happened. So as soon as the Pilgrims arrived on Plymouth, and they're like, oh, it looks like it's pretty fucking cold there, so we're just gonna hang out here on a ship. And some of them were dealing with outbreaks and dealing with fucking diseases and shit on the ship. So only half of the Mayflower's crew even actually lived to survive there because the Native Americans were just sitting there watching this shit happening. Like, fuck, man, we need to go help them out.
Just watch a Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving, and that'll pretty much give you a pretty good representation. Like, first time I watched that, I was like, damn, they're just like, yeah, everyone died. There's like 5 people that survived.
Yeah, there was like 5 people that survived. So everyone was like
Snoopy.
Yeah, and Snoopy, yeah, exactly. Well, if you're going by the Schultz version of Thanksgiving. But there was an Indian that was there that had shown up, and it said, look, you guys, man, you guys suck. You guys need to know how to fucking cultivate shit and farm and grow some corn and all that. That's what I was raised, you know, in the education system that I went through, which is a pretty liberal education system at the time, taught that is what happened. They make it sound like there was an armada, a flotilla of fucking pilgrims showing up with their fucking crazy ass top hats and their blunderbusses, just waxing everybody, and that's not what fucking happened. Not at all. A lot of the individuals that were on the Mayflower, I think some of them disappeared. They can't really like nail down who some of them that were gone. There were some of them that were adopted. There were some children that were left behind that were taken by from some of the tribe, not taken, but adopted into their own because their parents had died. So, it's for someone to sit there and say, "Oh well, you know, it's one of those things where you know this is what happened with slaughter." No, it's not what fucking happened. So, Casey, Thanksgiving's only bad because you gain weight on the delicious food. Man, who doesn't gain weight? Oh man.
I'm pretty sure I racked up at least 5.
Oh God, I did some PT today, and I was like, whoa, felt like a fucking slug, man. I was like, hey, how you doing? How's it going? Hey, how's it going, sir? And I was just leaving, just getting out of my POV. I was like, but
surprised you didn't call it Zonk today.
Oh man, I wanted
Zonk,
to.
just get the hell out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, so the way I see it is part of the Thanksgiving is this: the people of the Mayflower were thankful to the Indian tribes that helped them grow their own food and flourish, and that's why they had in 1621 that corn harvest that was successful. They were like, "Whoa, I gotta look what happened! Look what we did!" And they invited the Indians. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping us. Thank you. It wasn't like freaking, you know, God, just like fucking bullshit and a massacre and all that stuff, like you were saying. There's no way you could have, like you said, Flash. There's no way anybody could have predicted what was going to happen in the future. But it's an original intent of it. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like.
People just want to be mad. Like everyone
dude.
just wants to find a reason to be mad, and you know, it seems like every holiday there's something wrong. Doesn't matter what it is. Veterans Day, people had a problem with that. Thanksgiving, Christmas. I mean, hell, Hanukkah and Kwanzaa are going to take hits because people are just. We're in the phase of the United States where everyone wants to be offended, and if you're not offended, you feel like you need to find something to be offended by to be a part of the group that's offended. So you're not the minority that's not offended. It's just this weird circle of just people being stupid. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I posted that I wanted to, because you know like I mentioned, my family is German, and now that I've got 2 baby Flashes, I want to do more German things, especially around the Christmas holidays. There's a lot of German Christmas
hell yeah, dude, Krampus
traditions we do.
Better watch out, Krampus will kick your ass.
Hey, I've already talked to my son about Krampus. He's scared now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Princess Ice. I'm gonna do the same thing with Baby Ice. Oh yeah. My oldest was like, oh, Dad, whatever, man. Krampus isn't gonna. Yeah. Then how come you all of a sudden you're like really cool and send me cool texts? Say, hey, Dad, how you doing during Christmas time? Yeah. You say you're not scared anymore. Krampus is the shit, man. That's nothing wrong with that. People are gonna think you're racist though, right? You're a racist for wanting to be German, Flash. How dare you go back to your Germanic heritage there? What's up with that?
Nathan wants to learn German because it's his heritage to speak it.
No, you can't. You're triggered. You can't have
Right?
that. You can't have that. No, I hear
Sorry,
you.
baby Flash is losing his mind right now. It's about to meet Krampus up close and personal in the form of my wife.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's in trouble. But sorry, like what I was saying though, you know, those traditions, like, you know, there's a German tradition. I think it's around the 9th of December where you leave your shoes outside, and if you get twigs and branches and dirt and shit like that in it, it's kind of a sign that, hey, Santa's not happy with you. You need to shape up. You have some. It's almost like a report card. It's like, just so you know, you're about to get coal in your stocking if you keep this up. And then, but if you've been good, you get candy and maybe like little toys and stuff like that, like the German Kinder Egg stuff. But people just like, I'm pretty sure if I put that on Facebook, somebody's gonna be like, that's culturally insensitive. And I'm like, why? It's actually a culture.
It's actually culture.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's actually culture. You know, the one that you're all about. So look, since we're talking about Krampus, in my family, we had freaking on December 5th, the night of December 5th. You better freaking. That's when fucking Krampus is walking the streets. I always wondered how come old German relatives used to throw shot glasses of fucking schnapps right there on the porch. I'm like, what the hell is that? Well, what's up with that? How come there's a shot glass? I'm like, hey, you let this shot on the porch. Can I get? No, don't touch it. Okay. What's up with that? And then the next day you have Krampus, you have a party. Then you have fucking, Nikolaus.
They have a giant parade in Germany. I forget
Yes.
exactly where, but
in Mainz.
they have
it
a
in
giant.
Mainz. It's in Mainz.
It's in Mainz.
It's in Mainz.
I was in Wiesbaden for 2.5 years and never went to it. But they have those giant events like that celebrate.
It's because you were too busy on the snooty side of Hessen, not you didn't want to cross the river, is what it was.
I don't want to go to the college side. I want to be around the younger cats.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
I was too busy. I was too busy half being a bear rat, half like doing my job. I don't know. It was weird. What's wrong with me? But I mean, there's those traditions like that. If I put that out there, somebody will either be like, think it's a joke, because God forbid anyone in America that's white celebrates anything other than the normal standard American Christmas. Because I've had said that. Oh, why are you celebrating that? You're American. I'm like, I am, but I'm German too. I'm allowed to celebrate that. You can be, you're American and you celebrate Hanukkah, the same thing. It's just different culture. But somebody will find a problem with regardless of how you celebrate. I know Italy has some interesting Christmas stuff. I know France has their own Christmas stuff, not as cool as Germany, but whatever. And people will always, it's just a cycle of everyone wants to find something to be offended by. And if they don't like it or if they don't celebrate it, they don't like it and they have something negative to say.
Or just anything in general. Just
how it goes.
Yeah, they're just bitter people. Bitter people suck. You can't post any, you're right, Flash. You can't even post anything on our page or post anything on the main page without somebody making a snide fucking comment. To where you're like, just shut the fuck up, and then usually we just let the WTF Nation handle it, and that's usually what happens. Is somebody will sit there and go, man, and then there was a couple posts the last few days, and someone write, man, I bet you're fun at parties, or another one's like, dude, can't you just like, but why do you have to? There's just that one person that just sits there and just, I'm gonna troll. It could show you the most, it could just show you the most beautiful scene ever, and there's a rule. No women, no kids, right? Well, unless she's fucking like that one chick, Princess fucking Pumpkin Spice that decided to hit Officer Nightquill. That's different. But women, no kids. That's generally the rule, right? No women, no kids. You watch The Professional with freaking, what's his name? That the guy Leon, the profi.
That guy who no one can ever remember who his name is, but is in like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved him in Godzilla, though. I'm just gonna put that out there.
The name of the character was what was the name of the character? Oh shit, his name was Leon was the name of the character. And then the dude that was in it, Luc Besson was the guy that was the guy who made it, and then it was Jean Reno was the actor. Jean Reno so Jean Reno would be the guy. He is the hitman, and he was Leon, and But anyways, I digress. So then
What's that saying you like to say? Don't quit picking pepper out of fly shit.
Yeah, exactly. Stop picking pepper out of fly shit. Why the fuck are you gonna get all wrapped around the axle about some shit about something that has nothing to do with you? We had done this and we had done that. We had done this. We had done that. And this guy did this. And this veteran's persevering and all that. Or this soldier did this. And then of course there's somebody in the comments. Oh, motherfucking Jody probably was talking to his wife. I'm thinking, dude, really? Did you really have to make comments? I want to beat your ass. I really do. I want to beat your ass for people that say that shit. So that's just.
I do commend WTF Nation. They usually clean up as a guy who is always looking at our page and just wants to just scream at some people. And then I scroll a little bit farther down and see that other people, WTF Nation, have taken care of my job. I
Yes.
just want to say that
Yes.
Flash appreciates
Yeah, exactly.
every snarky thing you have to do against those
Exactly.
people, because people just want to find a reason to bitch and moan and complain.
So the biggest thing, going back, discussing the Christmas and the Thanksgiving. So that's really what the whole point was. It wasn't about slaughtering. It was a bunch of boat trash that came across from Europe. That freaking, anybody here related to any of the descendants? Any descendants from the Pilgrims right now? That I'm because I'm gonna offend you too.
Actually,
Anybody
I
here?
think so. I
Okay.
am. My mom has traced back our lineage all the way back to
Okay.
the Plymouth Rock in the
Okay,
1620s or whatever.
So just imagine. Okay, let's modernize this. Just imagine a fucking single wide fucking trying to crawl across the goddamn fucking Atlantic to get here, and then it crashes into fucking thing, and there's some people just sitting there watching these guys struggling to do shit. It's almost like you ever see somebody struggling with like a tent, or somebody that's struggling with something just to set it up, like someone who's having who does not have the manual dexterity to, I don't know, fucking figure out how to open up a goddamn car door, or how to.
Those people that have liberal arts degrees.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh. So the Indians walked up to the guy. Indians walked up to him and said, "Dude, you guys are fucking. Let me help you out here, man." No, we'll stay on the boat. And okay, stay on the boat. And that one winter, they all stayed on the boat, fucking suffering.
Yep.
And nothing left was bodies to pick up and all that shit. And then finally, the Indians came down and said, "Dude, you guys suck. Where'd you guys learn how to do your shit? You guys blow." And that's what happened. They came down and here, let me show you how. Could you imagine the language barrier? This guy didn't speak no English. None of them spoke English. Well, maybe the freaking, I don't know. Did the Pilgrims speak English? I'm sorry, like you said, some of them were Portuguese and all this stuff too. So could you imagine 5 different languages and shit going across some Native Americans, and they speak their language and shit, and they're all fucking talking?
I think the Pilgrims were all English.
Think so?
I think so. But I mean, there's other people that were still going around, like around the same time. It's just we don't have them in history because, people are still exploring, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, point being is that there's the imagine the language barrier, and they finally get it down right, and then all of a sudden, boat trash is all fucking happy now. And congratulations, you now cultivate. Thank you. You taught me how to plant crops, and then thank you. There you go, Caveman. That's Caveman's descendant right there. See, they finally freaking taught him how to freaking plant some freaking corn and some crops, and then that's when, again, that's why they were thanking the Indians. Why is everybody fucking getting all wrapped around the axle about that shit? You do. Whatever. Oh, we're gonna talk about.
But we hope everyone at WTF Nation had a great Thanksgiving. Aside from maybe the negative people and the stupid talk, I hope everyone was safe,
Yeah,
fat,
exactly.
and happy.
Exactly, like I said, I was slugging. Ugh. Yeah. I was slugging like a damn. I was like Cartman, fucking getting that out of my POV today. Ugh. Fall in. Ugh. You all right? Oh, shut up. He's walking. He's just barely walking. You didn't really hit 2 miles today. Back the fuck up.
Did you get your cheesy food?
Looked like 2 miles from here.
It looked like it was 2 miles away. It's only down. It's like not even a couple blocks. Zonk. Shut up. But
Love that word.
me too. But yeah, so I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. The boss said, "See ya." No broadcasting, so everyone's like, how come you guys didn't have it? Yeah, well, you know what? We fucking have families too. Anybody wanted to talk, everyone had the hotline. They could have called us up or found out, hey, I need to get a hold of somebody. Page was active, but we weren't active. We were freaking, I was out. Everyone was asking me, hey, what you going to do a certain someone? Dude, I'm busy stuffing my face. Why is it that Sergeant's time falls on a Thursday anyways?
I don't know. Are they going to come over to my house and cook?
Yeah, exactly.
Here, you cook. I'll go on the radio. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
yeah. Oh, no way, dude. You kidding? Because I would burn shit. I would burn a lot of stuff. I can multitask on like doing this stuff right here, broadcasting and all that, but I can't multitask on the cooking shit because then I would end up burning something. Something would get burned, and then the next thing you know, you'd be like, "Whoa, there you go."
Oh, they would have to be at my house at like 3 a.m. because we smoke our turkey.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's good stuff
I was
right
about
there.
to say I had some smoked turkey, And I tell you what, it was interesting. I was kind of like, yeah, okay, all right.
You haven't had my smoked turkey.
Yeah, see, speaking of which, there's D-Max. They taught him how to make popcorn. See, why is it got to be that one dude? Why, D-Max? You must have missed the conversation. There's that one guy.
Thank you, D-Max. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, what's up, Dale? Hope you down. Yeah, hope you had a good Thanksgiving, too. See, there you go, D-Max. They taught him how to make popcorn. Oh, man. Love you, D-Max. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, too. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. So even if you didn't eat any food or something like that, or you just hanging out with friends, that's what it's all about. Being thankful. Thankful. So again, not gonna get around the controversies of it and shit, because yeah.
Frankly, we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. I wasn't there. I wasn't there at all.
I do have to say it was pretty slow in the news.
It was. No, actually.
They made up for it today.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. We'll talk about it after the guest, but oh man, you know the D Treasy. You know how D Treasy likes to D Treasy it up. You know, like to talk about our favorite president.
I will have to say that Melania did a wonderful job on the White House decorating it for Christmas.
Oh, that was her design.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, it's cool, but I didn't. No idea.
I will comment that it was awesome. The two turkeys that got pardoned were Wishbone and Drumstick.
Yes, I saw that.
That's funny.
And Trump even was like, I want to take a jab at President Obama. He's like, I've been, pulling back all these regulations, executive order, but I've talked to my staff at the White House. We're not going to revoke the pardon status for these other turkeys.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, that's a damn fine thing of you, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So are you going to revoke the pardon for fucking Manning? How about that, huh? Since you were so looking forward to it.
Hey, those two turkeys, bring them here.
Yeah, bring them.
No, they're on my table tonight. Screw you, Obama.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be
ultimate
huge.
Shade.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna remove the pardon. These two turkeys are gonna be on the freaking table. That would have been fucked up if he would just like cut their head off right in front of everybody.
I would die laughing.
I'm here.
These are two conservative turkeys. We're going to bring them in, but we've had to make room. So at the same time, if you look over here, fake news media, we're going to chop off the heads of the ex-pardon turkeys.
Yeah, exactly. These are the ones that make turkeys great again. These turkeys here from the previous administration, and that's it. Gone.
That was a good turkey call. I'm going to give you that.
Well, I used to hunt turkey back in my younger days. So, yes, the Navy rocks. Yeah.
Back when you had to use a musket?
Actually, yeah. See, that's how come I know what the proper nomenclature of the weapons that the Pilgrims had. They were called blunderbusses. So, you could use them and you can actually stick rounds, rocks, sticks in it and everything, and that's what they were used for. They were used to blast the shit out of somebody. So, that's all they were used for. But, anyways. So, tonight, our guest is going to be Trees for Troops, and I made some jokes in the office today about that. Trees for Troops, and I was thinking, whoa, are you sure this isn't the green room? Because those are the trees that I was thinking, but it's not. It's different. It's a different.
I don't know if you want to smoke these trees.
I don't know if we want to smoke these trees. Yeah, I don't want to joke like that, but I think they got a good sense of humor and all that. We have Dick Darling from Trees for Troops coming on 2100, and so we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we'll be here I'm going to make sure I don't hit the wrong buttons and shit, because it's been a while since I played with buttons. So we'll be right back, and everybody get some shots.
You say I walk on the truth, but I definitely
guess
is
they
all
have
about the visuals, although
Oh, we're on air.
pretty sure it's illegal.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back with our guests. What's going on, Trees for Troops?
Yes.
Hey, so this is Dick Darling from Trees for Troops. Tell us what your organization's all about.
Well, we're a division of the National Christmas Tree Association, and Christmas Spirit Foundation is our proper name, but commonly we go by Trees for Troops. And that's an organization that covers the whole country. We've been here for about 13 years. This is our 13th year, and we ship to pretty much all the bases across the country, or not all of them, but about 65 bases, plus overseas.
Now, how did you guys get started?
Well, I can't tell you the truth on that one. It's a 13th year. I think we had some of the National Association members get together, and they wanted to do some goodwill, and we thought by contributing Christmas trees to some of the soldier families, it would be a great way to maybe increase our business and help some of the military families.
I hear that. So do you guys grow your own trees? How does it work? How do you go about getting Christmas trees, and then how you go about getting out to the bases?
Okay, I'm in New York State, and we have about 25 states involved.
Wow.
There's a few states that really don't grow Christmas trees, let's face it. But trees are pretty much all coming from tree farms. There's about 800 tree farmers across the country that participate in the program. And we accept donations, from organizations, individuals. Like if they come to my farm, if they want to leave some change or a $5 bill, we'll accept it and in turn put some more trees on the FedEx truck. And we collect at various points around or in the states. And then at some point, like right now, we're in the heart of it. FedEx comes with their trucks and picks them up and ships them around the country for us and around the world.
Wow. So how can I say this? How do you guys get away with it? Because I know sending trees overseas, do you guys do it through the military, or do you guys do it through some other nonprofits? Because I know isn't there some sort of a legality or some sort of just like you can't bring fruit and vegetables across a border in some countries. Do you guys have to run into any drama like that?
Well, the term I use,
they get smuggled.
No.
Oh, darn.
Okay, say you got a live Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And you cut it, the roots are left off. That's where your damage is, or any diseases or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So then we become a Christmas decoration. Okay. And
gotcha.
We don't ship that many overseas. Probably, I don't know, 500, 600, 700. The majority of them go to bases in the U.S., tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And about 65 bases. And like here in New York State, we go to Fort Drum, the 10th Mountain Division. A lot of reserve units of all military branches.
And they're so you're not delivering to anyone as far as like military bases in Afghanistan or Iraq. Have you guys sent any out there?
Yes, there's a few go over there, but not that much. I mean, it's more, well, I guess to say for the wives and children that are back home here and the soldiers are deployed.
Yeah.
Christmas time is a bad time of year for soldiers and families, and I guess it's a way of helping them. We're thinking of them, and
yeah, of course,
and hope that we're remembering them.
Exactly. Now, you guys were recently honored by the White House for being the top 20 national finalists in the Joining Forces Community Challenge. What is that?
Well, it goes back to Bob Hope. If anybody remembers Bob Hope, he used to go to Korea and put on shows for the military units.
I remember Bob Hope.
And he took a lot of the good-looking women with him to help him. But they call it the Hope Award.
Yeah.
And each one of the branches of the service, 5 of them, have an opportunity each year to present an award to an individual or an organization. And we won it from the Coast Guard. So it's sort of an honor. And before we go on, I want to say that I'm more or less the coach. We donate a lot of trees, but this is from all the tree farmers that participate and donations around the country. I mean, we're just doing it for them, I guess I can say. So, we just had an opportunity to go to the Pentagon, and probably will never do it again. Met a lot of top brass.
Yeah. What do you mean you'll never do it again? You didn't like?
Well, how often do you get to go to Pentagon?
Oh yeah, I hear you.
And I think probably every year they have new awards to new people. I don't think they'll go back and re-award to somebody that's already got an award. You see what I mean?
No, but there's nothing wrong with competing for it. I mean, or at least yeah.
No, and we didn't even know about it. We just got a phone call and said you have won.
Oh,
so
wow, see, even bonus.
Yep. Right.
So since 2005, you guys have had 191,000 free farm-grown Christmas trees. Now, is there a specific standard?
Hold on. Yeah, let's give it right now. This is the 13th year.
Okay.
And up to this year, we've shipped 192,000. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was 1,000 off. My apologies.
Well, thereabouts, yeah.
There's abouts. I said around anyways. Come on, man. So is there a specific standard that you guys have? Like, do you know how like wine? You have like wine tasters. You have like tree testers to say, hey, look, this is the tree that we want to grow. Is there a specific standard that you guys have to?
Yeah. We like to use firs, preferably Fraser fir. They're soft and they hold their needles longer than any other trees. And if you know much about trees, like a blue spruce is very bitey. Yeah. And, if you got small children, there's no way they can put decorations on them. It's gonna stick them like a needle. But the Frasers are very soft, and we like them anywhere from maybe 5.5 to 7 feet in height. A lot of the apartments these wives and families are living in aren't too big, and 7-foot tree is adequate for them. And then, let's face it, they don't have a lot of equipment. Say if the tree's too tall to cut it off with, they don't have a saw.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys are also enrolled in the combined federal campaign as well. 12283. So if you guys, when your first sergeant is out in front of the company saying, hey, it's time for CFC, 12283 is the treesfortroops.org. So say I want to grow a tree and I want to donate. How do I go about joining your organization or donating to your organization?
Well, you don't have to join. And let me get into growing trees for you.
Go for it.
It takes about 7 to 10 years to grow a tree. So don't get excited that you're going to grow it overnight or whatever. You're better off to make a donation to an established tree farm and let us put a tree on for you. But like I say, 5.5 to 7 foot in height, and we have a collection point. We gather them up, we bale them, and then we move them on to the bases. And for example, we're going to Watertown next Monday, and we actually stay on base. We've been going up there for years, and we get to meet the commander, and sometimes we have lunch with him. And we meet FedEx trucks up there. We'll have 700 trees up there that we give away, and it's quite an honor, and I think they appreciate it.
Yeah, I've seen several of those Trees for Troops around the country, and I've known junior soldiers that have benefited from that.
Right.
Because
we're right in the heart of shipping right now. I think it probably started nationwide, maybe, I don't know, end of last week, and we'll probably be going for another week, 10 days, and then they move them. It gets into the network of FedEx, and they take care of putting it right into their program. We just tell them where they are to be picked up and where we want them delivered, and they take it from there. And
yeah.
nice part about it doesn't cost us anything. They do it free of charge for us.
How did they get involved? I mean, they just called you guys up and said, "Hey, we want to deliver your trees." How'd that work? How'd that happen?
I think it goes back to when we started. I think somebody contacted them and asked them if they wanted to participate in the program, and they got quite excited about it and said yes. Now, next week we got the fellow that actually works with us, or our association, is going to come to Fort Drum and see what we actually do. And I think that helps both of us, or both organizations. But we try to ask them if they want to do more advertising, but they just sort of want to soft sell it, I guess is the word.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. No, that's very admirable that they would even do it. Because, FedEx, you know what it's like when you deliver anything from FedEx. Even the post office, man, sometimes it's pretty expensive. So,
yep.
So for them to do that is awesome for FedEx. I didn't know they did that at all until I was doing some research on your organization.
One other thing is we've tried to encourage them to see if they would do a video with us that they could play. Christmas time. I mean, you've seen the ads for Coca-Cola, for example, with the polar bears drinking Coca-Cola and all, but they just don't seem to want to get that publicity. So it.
Yeah. Let me shake my. Let me think about that. Let me scratch my head on this one. That's fascinating.
We could bring tears to their eyes, when you see families getting a tree.
Oh yeah, no, I see. No, it's on your website. I see some of the pictures of some of your facts, and that little kid holding up a, happy to be in front of a Christmas tree. That right there, that just kind of melts, and tugs on the heartstrings. So how long have you been? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Next week, somewhere in the U.S., we'll be delivering a 200,000th tree. So you'll see some publicity on that when it comes out. We'll probably end up with about 210,000 when we're done after this season. So that's quite a number of trees if you look at it.
How long have you been in the organization yourself? How'd you get started up in this?
We had a local soldier that got killed. And I felt that I ought to get involved.
Oh, we appreciate that. That is do you know the soldier's name? I mean, do you have what happened? What was the circumstances? What was he in Operation Iraqi Freedom?
He was in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
And I can't tell you the name now, but the good feeling is if you get a letter back from one of the soldiers, that tell you about how they enjoy it.
Yeah, of course.
And in most cases, they share it with everybody, and they take it down to the mess hall. And the smell and the feel, gives them the feeling of Christmas, I think.
Yeah, well, it does. I mean, because that's when you're deployed. That's that home. You know what I mean? Because I know there's a lot of events when I've been deployed, and there are certain smells that while I'm here, back in the States, that I smell something and it reminds me of being deployed. But I don't think I've ever had any instances where I've had anything remind me of home while I was deployed. So you're right. That right there, except for the Christmas tree.
Right. We got a request. We box up a few trees too on our own and chip them out, and we get donations. But the National Association had called me and said there was a fellow. Well, he called me and said that their son was deployed to Afghanistan. There was 100 men in his unit, and he says all it is sand. So we sent him a tree, and then we boxed up a bunch of greens and ornaments, and hopefully enjoy it. They can spread that out in the mess hall or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, is there any other? I mean, any plans to? I guess you'd say grow more trees. You said it takes about 5 years to grow a tree.
Well, no, about 7 to 10 here in the north. In the south, they can grow them a little faster than we can.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't go dormant in the south. Where up here they go dormant, in September and really don't start growing again to April. So
wow,
an 8-foot tree, is about 8-9 years. Yep.
Really? Wow. I'm just even thinking how would I see? I can't even multitask something like that. I was just telling the guys earlier about multitasking, cooking Thanksgiving dinner. I couldn't even imagine how to. I mean, you just plant the tree and then wait. I mean,
well, we call them seedlings or transplants. They
Yeah.
come about, I don't know, 2 foot tall.
Yeah.
And then we have what you call a juice and cut operation. In other words, this past weekend we opened up, and families come and cut their own tree. And then next spring we'll plant another tree, a little one, right next to where we cut one. And it just makes a rotation for our trees in the future. But it's not a get rich quick deal. I mean, if you go to the bank and say, well, I want to plant a farm in the Christmas trees and we need a loan, and you tell them, well, we probably won't be bringing any money in for 8-10 years, they'll scratch your head and say, well, good luck, Charlie, but you're not getting money from us.
So you are a real deal tree farmer.
Yes.
How long?
Oh, yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
25 years.
Wow. Oh, well, I mean, that's maybe like 5 or 10 tree growings. I mean, it's not that long.
The problem is my son and daughter are coming on. Our son is a teacher, and he'll be retiring shortly. But I'm getting a little older than I should be to play this game. I'm 76. So
Oh, wow.
You can get tired in a hurry out there, but
I
hey,
bet.
gives you good exercise.
It does.
Yep. And I enjoy the kids coming. I mean, they jump out of the car and they're happy. And we had a teacher here, a little story about Sunday, and she worked with us boxing up trees and things for the soldiers. And she came out Sunday with her husband. She's retired. She's probably, I don't know, 55 or 60. I thought she was a little kid. She was hugging me and she says, we're getting a real tree this year for the first time. And they went out the driveway. She had her head out the window waving and just as happy as can be. So, you see all kinds.
That's what it's all about, really.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
and that's probably what made you want to do it more than just 20 years. Is just seeing the reaction like that. I know I would.
Yep.
Just something like that. I'm telling you.
We try to help local soldiers too. I mean, we got a few, if they come in uniform, we'll give them a tree, or if they're in the service, we'll let them have them at half price. So, help the military personnel.
Well, we appreciate it. We totally appreciate you coming on as well, sir. And again, your organization is Trees for Troops, and you are part of the Christmas Spirit Foundation.
That's the parent name of
That's
it.
the
Yes.
parent name of it. Okay. And then you guys are a 501c3 tax-exempt charitable organization. So
yes.
So if you want to donate, we just go to treesfortroops.org and then click
You
on
got
click on the donate button, and then that's it, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, hey, sir, thank you for coming on.
No problem.
And definitely appreciate you coming on and appreciate what you're doing for the soldiers.
Our hang line this year, I guess you call it, it's Christmas. Keep it real.
That's right. All right, sir. You have a good night.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh man! Wow, that is awesome.
Didn't realize that organization was out there. That's really cool.
Neither did I. Didn't even think about that.
I figured you did.
Well, I mean, I saw the free trees because in the units they say, okay, we got free trees coming out here. And I'm thinking, well, who's giving? Nobody knows. And I've heard Trees for Troops, but I never saw any media for it. I never saw anything that would say Trees for Troops or anything that would be, that would have highlighted them. And then now that I'm doing the math, I'm doing the Cavman math here. He's a tree farmer that donates to a pretty large. So if you go to their website, go to treesfortroops.org, you'll be able to see their story. My excuse me for the correction there. Wow, it was just they got let's see, for Trees for Troops 1, 2, 3 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday weekend this December coming up. And they have, I'm counting up. They have different sites. Joining Forces Community Challenge finalists. They had their CFC, and they're part of the Military Support Groups Network of America. So, that's awesome. Like I said, I thought it was a slang. I thought it was just like some buzzword. Somebody said, "Oh, Trees for Troops." I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know it was like the legit Trees for Troops. And don't mess
Well, here at WTF Nation Radio, we want to make sure you learn something new every day.
Even if it's me too, as well.
And that's certainly one of
this is my purpose.
Yeah. No, this is good stuff. I like that. I mean, he's Mr. Darling was being so modest. He's got some awards. I mean, he's they've been noted. They've been highlighted by the White House. They've been highlighted, by the first ladies, Michelle Obama and Jill Biden, to recognize they were part of the Joining Forces Community Challenge that they won, that he talked about. And I mean, that's it's kind of like if you're doing something for the community, and then you don't realize that you're getting an award for it. That just says a lot, because obviously they weren't competing for it, but so they get thousands of trees donated to them. FedEx does it for free. FedEx, dude, I never would have thought FedEx would deliver.
That was probably the coolest revelation of this whole thing.
Yeah.
That FedEx, goes, hey, we got you.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, I'm like, man, UPS, I might actually start calling FedEx to start picking up our packages, because that's kind of I believe in the pay it forward, and that's pretty cool. I mean, who would have thought FedEx goes out of their own way? And it's not like trees are, it's not like it's it's like a couple of 1 pound packages. Trees are some, there's like 30, 40, 50 pounds. I mean, some of them can get pretty heavy.
He says
and they're like, hey, load them up on the truck. We got them.
5 to 8 feet. 5 to 8 feet is what they grow them. So I couldn't even imagine.
A lot of room. That means they're sucking up a lot of cost to help this organization out, which is awesome.
Yeah.
They're not wanting any recognition.
Yeah, that's the thing too. They don't want big baller status. They don't want
no publicity stunt.
No publicity stunt. They're not like other organizations that like to say we support the troops in beer commercial football. Well, why do we say First Cav? The guy was talking about 10th Mountain, Dale. Dale in the Facebook live chat's like, First Cav, where did that come from?
Probably your little Cav
Dude,
man
I'm gonna need you to go sit down in the corner, put your Stetson on, and just just be quiet.
Just chill. Just chill for a little bit. So 191,000 free farm-grown trees have been provided since 2005. And FedEx has logged more than 700,000 ground miles to get these trees transported, and that was I'm sorry, I've sent stuff through FedEx, and it's a pain in the butt, and I get mad because I'm like, oh, freaking, I don't want to do is just ship this here, and why is it gotta cost $50? And it's they said it's got to be insured, and you get mad, right? Then you think about this. Now I don't feel bad. Now I feel bad.
It's literally one piece of paper. Why is it costing me $50?
Yeah,
exactly. And they do stuff like this. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
And my parents drive for FedEx.
Oh, see, so now I'm feeling even more guilty. Talking
Look.
about your FedEx family, and then you got family that lives in FedEx. So,
right.
That's awesome.
Great company to work for. If anybody's looking for a job that's a trucker, go drive for FedEx.
Teach us well, Mom. Teach us well. What the owl says in the Facebook live chat. The owl is the owl likes to provide a lot of his knowledge. I like that. I like his knowledge. His knowledge. He's knowledgeable. Throwing his wisdom out. Thank you. But this time tonight, Mom's teaching us.
Boom.
I'm gonna learn you guys.
I'm gonna learn you.
I'm gonna learn you stuff.
I'm gonna learn you some stuff about trees. Boy, he put me in my place when I said, "Oh, this was like a couple years." No, take 7 to 10. I'm like, whoa, hey.
He went, no.
Get
your numbers right.
Yeah, get your numbers right. I was like, whoa, yes, sir. I stood in the position to pray rest. He's 76 years old, man.
Didn't you say like 200,000? The 200,000th tree is being given out next week.
Yeah, exactly. So just looking at just perusing around their website and stuff like that.
And he acts like he comes off like he's so modest. He comes off like it's the 200,000th tree we've been able to give to a troop's family is no big deal.
It's only 200,000. Who cares? It's only 200,000.
It's only 200,000. Like I appreciate the guy is pretty awesome. I mean, to do all this, and I think it was Al who was saying, it's earth, hands to the earth. I think that is
it is.
That is his deal, is growing these trees, and I think that's pretty awesome. 200,000, man. I'll bat an eye at 500,000.
Dude, I thought he was around my age when he says, "Oh, I've been doing it for 25 years," and then he's like, he's in his 70s. Whoa.
Wait, you're not 70 something?
Well, I'm getting close to that age, but yeah, I am of senior age. I'm getting close to Social Security and AARP. But and he still. I tell you what, man, those tree farmers. I know I've gotten out with the kids to get a tree, and that's work. It's a family event for the families that are going to go get a tree and the families that are growing the tree. It's a big deal. It's just they're also what? They're also awkward. What is that? What is that, Al? They're also awkward. What is that?
Awkward?
Is that what he's trying to say? Awkward? What's awkward? What are we talking about? I don't know what he's talking about.
What'd you talk about, Al?
Hey, what you talking about, Al? What is awkward or awkward? Awkward. Anyways, go to treesfortroops.org. Check them out on their Facebook page. Check them out on their website. On the top bar, they got a donate tab where you can kick some cash over, or just keep your ear to the ground for you guys and gals that are up in the Watertown area, up in the 10th Mountain area. God, I couldn't even imagine. 7 to 10 years. Like I said, I can't multitask when it comes to cooking Thanksgiving chow. I couldn't even imagine trying to manage a freaking tree farm. I mean, really, just sit back and watch, right? I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't belittle that, but that's I don't have the patience for that. I couldn't have the patience for that. So, but thanks, Mr. Darling, for coming on. That was you did say awkward, okay? That was what you meant to say, awkward. So, Mr. Dick Darling from Trees for Troops. We're gonna take a break real quick, and then we're gonna play a couple tunes. We're right back because we're gonna talk some trash.
We're gonna talk a lot of trash.
Talk a lot of trash.
Ooh.
Ooh. So everyone, get yourself a drink. Go use the latrine, and then we'll be back. Shots.
Hungry for another taste. You stumble around the time you waste, and your table's overturned. Sooner or later you crash, then you burn. I think I wanna die tomorrow. Are you gonna be with me? I think I wanna die tomorrow, 'cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. The simple ways come and go. Still I love the way you turn me on. Just can't find the words, 'cause everything I say sounds so absurd.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. Taking a little break right quick from our guest.
I still love that opening with Tim Kennedy. I don't care.
I know, dude. Tim Kennedy's awesome. So,
and a unicorn will be raped.
Of course, because, hopes and dreams are usually riding on the back of a unicorn, unless you use its horn. Then if you grind up the horn, then, supposedly, if you grind up the horn of a unicorn and you sprinkle it on somewhat. Anyways, allow me to, I digress. Okay. I love my country, big time.
Let's preface that one with "I love my country."
I love my country so much. I am so grateful and thankful to be born in the greatest country in the world, and in the universe, in this galaxy. And there's, I'm sorry, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, let's be the nationalistic and jingoist." Shut the fuck up, okay? If you're not proud to be an American, then move out. Go. Or run for office, join the military, or do something in life that's going to make or improve the country to what you think it should be. Otherwise, shut your hole. However, our elected officials, sometimes they don't represent what we feel. And there are just sometimes that you want
to smack them.
You just want to smack some of these individuals, not really smack them, but just kind of like go, dude, really? Did you just really say that? Case in point today. Or was it today? Was it today?
Yeah, it happened. It happened earlier this afternoon.
This afternoon. Okay, so this afternoon, our leader, our president, talked about the Navajo Code Talkers. Now, if you don't know anything about the Navajo Code Talkers, unreal, dude. These individuals, Navajo Indians,
these badasses. These
guys are badasses. These Marine Corps and Army, they use their native language to stump the Japanese, and all they did was just speak their normal language, and due to the type of language. The Japanese code crackers were not able to translate any of what they were saying. So top secret, could you imagine talking top secret SCI over the open net? And, and only two people can understand it, the guy that's sending it out and the guy that's writing it down. So,
well, the problem was back, during the beginning part of the war, especially with Japan, they were cracking every little thing we had.
Correct.
And they were their guys were good.
Yeah.
Their guys were really good. It's almost like they had their own Enigma machine rolling with us. So the U.S. Army recruited about 400 to 500 Native Americans whose primary job was to transmit secret tactical messages that the Japanese for sure could not break. And they did some pretty epic stuff.
Yeah, and also they were also then moved out with their units as well that they were assigned to continue these classified transmissions. So, I mean, they were unreal, straight up unreal in there. I mean, if anything else, true Americans, you could not have asked for anyone that, I mean, just imagine speaking your native language, and using it in a military operation that was decisive in winning some campaigns in the Pacific.
Now, the Navajo were primarily with the Marine Corps.
Correct.
With the U.S. Army, tribes including the Lakota, the Comanche, and the Meskwaki. If I butchered it, I do apologize. worked with the U.S. Army as code breakers. So when we say like code talkers or whatnot, it spans the whole group of Native American code speakers, which is pretty awesome. But during a event today, Donald Trump was honoring the Navajo, specifically the Navajo code talkers.
Yes,
and that turned a little interesting.
It turned a little interesting because he was talking about their accomplishments in battle, talking about Iwo Jima and all that. So much to that the president gave them. The president was preparing his own speech to say, and the president even said, "I can't even." You want to come say something? And that one of the guys who came up and spoke said something that just completely floored the president and said, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say, because as a matter of fact, here is my speech book. You can have my speech book. And it was a pretty powerful moment, right? Now you're thinking, yeah, hell yeah, dude. You're freaking.
Hey, if he's going to act presidential, now's the time.
That's the time to freaking do it. But you didn't expect this to come out of his mouth when he's talking to Native Americans. Please don't be an ad. It's an ad. Okay, hang on.
I have the quote if you're ready for it.
I have it too. I was just waiting.
Just want to thank you because you're very, very special people. You were here long before any of us were here.
Thumbs up.
Although we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas.
No.
But you know what? I like you because you are special. You are special people. You are really incredible people. And I have to, from the heart, from the absolute heart, we appreciate what you've done, how you've done it, the bravery that you display because you are special. But you know what? I like you. Because you are.
It was like, hey, it's like he was like, okay, I'm on the right. Like his brain is just rolling. Hey, tell them how awesome they are because they are. Tell them this, tell them that. Hey, don't forget to take a dig at the Democrats. Oh, and it's just like he went squirreled for a second, made that like Pocahontas comment, which, if you aren't in the world of politics, you don't know. The Massachusetts Democrat, Senator Elizabeth Warren, has been referenced and nicknamed as Pocahontas for a long time now, because when she did her application for, I believe, Harvard. But I might be, if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Whatever, Ivy League school, but it's been noted that she was a fraud.
Yeah, and she wrote on her application that she was Native American as a part of, a lot of schools have the affirmative actions kind of stuff where they're openly trying to bring in minorities and.
Yep.
And Native American being one of those, where if you say you're Native American trying to get into a big time school like that, if you have the qualifying grades, you're pretty much like plucked, like you're good to go.
Yeah.
Which in turn she was. When it came out that she was a fraud, Pocahontas has been a nickname that Donald Trump's been using for a while, and other people have used it too.
Correct.
Messing with her about her and I'm doing bunny quotes for those playing at home. Her Native American heritage that she claims, even though she's whiter than me.
Correct. So,
representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas. But you know what? I like you.
I like you.
It's just the balls on this guy.
The looks on their fucking faces were like, what the fuck did he just say?
The code talkers were just like, they were just kind of like, eh?
Yeah. What is Pocahontas?
Are you making a Lewis and Clark joke?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you making like a Disney prank? Or what is this?
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, what the hell? Like you said, the one time that was so presidential, like I said, I was watching it and I was like, oh, dude, this is awesome. Oh my God, he's giving him his speech book. He's giving, this is badass. And then he just started trailing off.
For once, I was like, man, that's my president right there.
Yeah.
And, I've been pretty open. I didn't vote for Trump. I don't like him that much. but I don't knock people for them. I don't knock people for what they didn't do or what they haven't done. I don't mess with people. I don't get mad at him just because he breathed air. But when I'm like, oh, that's my president right there, and then I heard that comment, I went, damn it. You just couldn't have let that go. You couldn't have been like, hey, this isn't the time to do this. Oh wait, it is.
Man. I'm not gonna have any. My funeral. If the president ever speaks at my funeral, he's not gonna be the guy to speak for me, man. I don't want him to slip. I like Ice.
Here lies Ice.
Here lies
great American.
Ice.
He was awesome.
Ice is great.
Screw you, Bernie Sanders.
Exactly.
This man right
Exactly.
here was a hero.
Because Ice, his family came over the border. I'm glad we built the wall. Oh my God.
He has to be like the most entertaining president we've ever had.
Oh God. Again,
it's like I'm watching SNL every day of the week.
It was maybe you know what? That's what it was. It was the damn speech book. Had he not given them the speech book. It's almost like Rick and Morty. You know how we watch Rick and Morty, and there's certain elements of a Rick and Morty show that if it goes changed, then the whole show goes out of whack. If you're a Rick and Morty fan, and Morty, just make sure you don't take the speech book. The next thing you know, he's Rick. The next thing you know, that was it. They took away his freaking, and he just went all off kilter. It was like it was like an anthill. He just frazzled them up.
So Elizabeth Warren came back and she made a comment earlier today afterwards saying, it is deeply unfortunate that the President of the United States cannot, and I apologize if I'm not being snarky enough, I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking fancy wine and everything, but I don't think I can muster it. Cannot make even through a ceremony honoring these heroes without throwing out a racial slur. Yes, because hey, just when the holidays are over, ding, 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 let's go. And then White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders came out and disputed that claim, pretty much saying that it was. Most people find offensive is Senator Warren lying, because we got to take that dig about her heritage and to the advantage of her career. So the White House is pretty much going, hey, Senator Warren, F you. Just, move out.
Exactly. Well, no. Oh, see, now everyone's like, no, we're not a Hillary fan. We're just talking about that. Look, every president.
Yeah, I'm talking about losers. I'm sorry.
We don't exactly. We don't care. We're gonna crack at everybody. I know Pookie wants me to imitate W. You and I would not have said anything about Indians. So, these Indians were, they were talking code. They were fighting against the Japs. Oh my God! I almost started. I almost pulled the minx and started.
Have you heard her really get into a good laugh? Oh
yeah, dude. God. Oh, dude. What are you talking about? Beagles are running towards the sound of her voice.
I've seen like groups of pigs not even make that kind of. Like she goes when she gets into a really good laugh, I can't help but laugh too because it is pretty damn funny.
No, it is. Oh, so what we're talking about is that
we love you, Minx. Don't hate me.
Yeah, don't hate
me
us
off the radio.
Yeah. We laugh and talk shit about every president, so it's not specific to that president, but damn, he's giving us some material, man. Damn, dude, really? Did you really have to?
The problem.
Is he like the uncle that just like has a? Is he like me on Thanksgiving? Just has a social faux pas and just goes, fucking just says the wrong thing.
Like no filter.
Like no filter, but you just kind of, you're just like, oh, dude, really? I mean, don't get me wrong. Come on, everybody. You honestly think that had he not given that speech book, that he would not be in the situation that he's in right now. And you know what? Elizabeth Warren has zero room to talk about anything. She shouldn't. That's like Harvey Weinstein trying to give a fucking sexual assault counseling class or some shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shut up. She should just shut up.
We have a new sharp representative. His name is Kevin Spacey. He's going to be with us for a while.
Exactly. Kevin Spacey and exactly. And our EO advisor's fucking Elizabeth Warren.
And I mean, he didn't. It's just, it was too easy to just not. If he would have just left that one piece out, it's still, while it's not a very etiquette, that's not the word I look for. It's not a very polished statement. It's not, and I'll say this about President Obama. He always, even if he was off script or not, always sounded so damn good.
It sounded scripted.
Like,
Everything with him was scripted anyways. I mean,
but it was always
Although
so
we have a
polished.
representative
Even, he knew he was practicing different speeches just for any occasion.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was always so polished and clean, and just sometimes just like damn right, everything just damn right sexy.
Yeah, well,
but then Trump
damn,
comes
dude.
out and goes and just like has this moment. It's kind of bumbling, whatnot. He does his repeating things very, very. He does this whole thing, but then just like has to have. It's just like that little mean guy was pissing for like 5 minutes and ran back in and go, hey, and don't forget Pocahontas, fuck that bitch, and then ran away.
Congress, who they say was here a long time ago, they call her Pocahontas. But you know what? I like you.
It only took that 10 seconds to ruin that whole moment.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was just
because to me it takes away from the code talkers there. Because what are we doing? We're not talking about the code talkers.
Yeah,
we're
now
talking about Elizabeth
Warren again.
Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren
Yeah.
and Donald Dumbass Trump. Just going at it, even though this wasn't anything about them. They weren't even in the same room.
Exactly.
It was about the Navajo code talkers being awesome veterans, being awesome for their country. And what happened? Because that little man in the back of his head decided, hey, we forgot to make fun of a Democrat. Let's do that real quick. Now everything on CNN, on Fox, MSNBC, Twitter is all about the quote unquote racial slur or the backlash, and not about these badass Navajo code talkers, which I highly respect. That's freaking awesome.
It is, man.
And even we're talking about him saying that and ruining his whole thing instead of the more of what they've done, because it's a great presidential moment ruined because he had to play politics or just be an asshole, one of the two.
Yeah, so just let it go, dude. You don't. Everybody knows what you called her. Everybody knows what you said. And of course if you're feeling triggered,
you're
because
the president.
Yeah.
You've already won.
Yeah, exactly. If you're feeling triggered
You're
about
not
us
running
talking about
for
the
office,
president,
you're the man.
then disconnect, because we talk about everybody. He's not a holy man. Okay, he's the president of the United States, and we're allowed to say anything we want about the president. We've talked about it all.
Don't tell me. Is somebody getting mad because we're making fun of Trump?
No. I could just I just see it that no one likes to admit when he's messing up, or dude, that was stupid. No one wants to say that. No, it's almost like now, because there's because we talked about one end of the trigger. Now we're talking about the other end of the trigger. There's the other end of the trigger that gets offended when you say anything bad about Trump. Anything bad about Trump, forget it. You're worthless. You're this. You're a Hillary supporter. No, dude. I'm just telling you that it was stupid that he fucking said fucking Pocahontas when he's talking to Indians.
It just totally takes away from everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about.
Congress, who they say was here a long time ago, they call her Pocahontas. But you know what? I like you.
Okay, that was smart.
That last sentence there kind of freaked me out. Not like you.
But I like you. Get over
I am
it.
Batman.
I'm a president. Swear to me. Oh man, but anyways, yeah. Look, again, you have to admit that the previous administration, the previous president, did have a suave. Come on, man, he was smooth when he fucking talked.
He was. No matter
that's how he got fucking
no matter
elected.
what he was talking about, whether it was when he went on his apology tour or when he was doing ceremonies for 9/11, or even do his daily, like he would do his daily little, he'd come in and just like kick out the press secretary and do a little talk or whatnot. Everything he said, even when Fox was like, "We got him now, we got that son of a bitch," he would still like word fuck the shit out of him, and Fox would be there going, "I don't know what happened."
Yeah, exactly.
That's what President Obama was good at. This is not what President Trump is good
exactly.
at. President Trump is good.
Well,
I think it's a shorter list of what President Trump's good at. But, I don't know.
Well, you do have to admit though. I mean, since all this politic talking has been happening, anyways, I don't. Do we even know what he's done yet? I mean, do you know what he's done yet? I mean, has he done anything yet that you know? Is everyone away from the keyboard? You still there, man? Flash, you there, bud? Flash, you there, man?
Yeah.
Okay. Is everybody?
Did we fall off?
No, I don't think so. Is everyone away from the keyboard? Come on. No, my point being is that what has he done? I mean, you just said on the short list of what he's done. Well, what has he done, and what has he hasn't done? He's had jobs come up, right?
He has.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'll give him, and I will give him. While a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's only Obama's," I wouldn't say that. I would say that there's a good chunk of it was, residual stuff coming from the last 3 years. Said, but Donald Trump coming in office has bumped up things because he has pulled back regulations that have been hindering certain businesses and certain different avenues, and I'll give him that. He's been tough on North Korea more than I think anyone else has in the last I would say the last two administrations.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I mean he's put North Korea back on the terror list, which a lot of people are like, what does that mean? And I went, well, to the world, not a damn thing. For us, it means we add more sanctions, but then we've also been able to push through even more sanctions with Nikki Haley, who I kind of liked, and I kind of was hoping she would run for president this term, but I guess maybe she's doing kind of the Hillary Clinton thing. But let me get into a cool position first, and then run for president because I have a better pedigree. But it didn't work for Hillary Clinton. So they, well, that's
damn. Who's
after watching Game of
Thrones?
House of Cards,
after watching Game of Thrones,
after watching Game of Thrones and House of Cards, the way I see it is they're like, hey, you're not going to win. How about you just shut up? And I'll give you this cool job, and you'll be and that's how she treated it. Was I'm next as the president. So maybe Nikki Haley's doing the same thing, bolster up that resume, and maybe she'll be able to run. But Nikki Haley was a good choice, even though a lot of people shitted on her for the UN, and she's been able to push through a lot of sanctions that usually we don't get to push through because China and Russia goes, hey, fuck you. So I'll give them that. We've been tough on North Korea, even though North Korea is wiling out even more than ever, but.
Well, the Owl's got a good point. The Owl's got a definitely good point. He's sticking up for America. He's
done that more.
He's done that way more. And I'll be honest with you, that's why I don't know what else he's done. Because America, it should always be about America. You should always be putting your country first and looking at the country's business interests and its people at hand first before you start talking about, oh, well, maybe we'll do this. Because think about, I mean, I'm not even going to get into all the fucking scandals and investigations and special counsels that everyone's throwing. I don't even know who's getting fucking investigated anymore. You know what I mean? But America first is America first.
And I'm always, regardless of, how some of this stuff is a little misguided, I'm always for America first. And hey, Dale Labs has a good point. He's left our guns alone. And for some reason, every time a tragedy happens, the first thing people want to do is take away the guns. That guy used a knife. I don't care. Take away the guns. Okay. He used a bomb this time. Take away the guns. But the last couple of times have been, with rifles and stuff like that. But he hasn't. He's left that alone because he, one, he knows his base would destroy him. But two, it's not an issue that he needs to go after. There's other things that always played into it, and Al, I love the Flash Gordon reference on the Facebook chat. You're awesome.
Yeah, I don't even think about that. Flash.
Well, when my name was decided upon the WTF Nation crew, the first thing my wife did was go. She's like, "Hold on, where's your Queen CD?"
Oh my God, man, Mrs. Flash sounds cool as shit. Damn,
it's
dude.
number 9. It's I think it's track 9. Flash.
But you're right. Sticking up for the U.S. I mean, it all started with Ronald Reagan when he said it. You know, what's wrong with liking America? What's wrong with being patriotic? Everyone else is like being ashamed and embarrassed to be patriotic. Don't be. You're an American, right? You should be proud of it.
Well, it seems like for the last couple of years, it's been uncool, or everyone's getting like, kids are, you know, you can't the last couple of years, kids are being like suspended from school because they had an American flag on the back of their truck. Yet somebody can have a Mexican flag in their vehicle. No one says a damn thing. And hey, I'm a very hands-off kind of guy. That you do you, unless it's infringing upon somebody else's right. You do you. If you want to fly your Mexican flag, you know what, by all means. But if somebody flies a American flag and you shit on them, this is what's wrong. That's what's wrong with America, is that we're so afraid to, you know, be Americans, because they're like, oh, well, you're not being respectful of other cultures. And motherfucker, we are Americans.
America is our culture. So shut up. You know what I mean?
It's like we're all cultures in one. Go away. This is the melting pot. So you're here. You can be German, Irish, Mexican, from Iran, from Iraq, from Nigeria, from South Africa, from everywhere else. But in here, you come here, you're an American. Congratulations. You shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to see kids getting in trouble or wanting to sing to do the Pledge of Allegiance and getting shitted on by liberal media or anyone else who's got a problem with it. That's what they want. The school wants to do. Cool. And everyone, I don't know. Everyone's just, again, goes back to everyone wants to be offended, and everyone wants to be offended by things because it's the imperialistic, nationalist, blah 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 blah. Dude, just flying an American flag in my front yard because I'm an American. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's not, and it's called patriotic. It's not nationalist or jingoistic. It's called being patriotic. That term patriotic doesn't even sound. You don't even hear it anymore. You rarely hear it. You hear somebody saying that's going to be, you can't. Oh, you know the words of the national anthem? Did you know the national anthem was racist and blah blah blah? Like, did you know that we don't even sing that third paragraph? I don't even think anybody else knows the third paragraph of the national anthem aside from the rest of it, except for those that will have researched and all that. But Ronald Reagan even said there's nothing wrong with being American. Peace through strength, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. So that's the only thing that I could see that this president has done is everyone's like, oh, don't say "Make America Great," that's racist, and you're right, Flash. You come to this country to do what? You come just like any other country. You go to that country and you learn that language of that country. You go and learn the culture of that country. And then if you want to live in that country, you have to abide by their freaking laws. You have to abide by their cultures and customs and all that, right? So,
well, Teddy Roosevelt even said that. He said, if you're going to come here, you need to assimilate into our culture, not us have to assimilate to yours. If you wanted to stay in your culture overall, you should have stayed where you're from. If you want to make this place Italy, then you should just go back to Italy. This is not going to be Italy. This is going to be the United States. We are the people of trailer parks, canned cheese, football, light beer, and everything that is awesome. We love our guns here. That's just that's just what America does. If you don't like that, then you have a choice. See, and the cool thing about the U.S. is that we have 50 states that have that have their own personalities and their own laws. And if you want to be super, you don't want to be around guns very often. Hey, there's a whole West Coast that's right up your alley. But if you want to be entrenched in NASCAR and Hooters, go to Georgia. There you go. And good gun laws. And but the problem is people expect that they're going to come here, or not just them, because most people that come here are just fucking happy to be here. And I don't blame them. I love my country. I've been to quite a few thanks to the military and outside the military. And I've always been glad to come, even when I was in Germany. And I love Germany. My family's from Germany. Germany's a big part of who I am. But I love being in the U.S. and American. But, people, it's not the people coming here that are trying to do it. It's everyone else. It's that feminist liberal arts hipster guy, that the millennial stereotype that's like, no, we should make this more acceptable for Italians and Spanish people and blah blah blah. They're fine. maybe you should get your head out of your ass and go pick some cocoa beans somewhere else. Go away.
Not to mention the fact there are other people that escape their country to be homeless here. You hear those stories? I left my country and I only had $20 to my name, and now I own whatever.
And they're happy.
Yeah, and they're happy. What are you talking
It's
about?
like, I was loved, man. There was shelters, there was food lines, there's all this other stuff.
Your dumpster is a fucking Golden Corral where my country is, where I'm from. You know what I mean? Well,
My country, we have death squads, and they find you on the road, they shoot you. Here in America, I lived behind a KFC, and I was loving life. It smelled like chicken every day.
There you go.
I'm hoping to God that I'm just being a caricature and just trying to be funny, but I'm pretty sure there's somebody who's had to do that because, you don't get the things you want and the places you want to go without putting forth effort. And if you want to, and the people that come to the United States, and that's why I'm, my uncle who I mentioned in the beginning of the show, and I have had several conversations, more him yelling and me just laughing at him, about, illegal immigration, is because there's so many people that wait years, or they're stuck in these, these areas just trying to get to the U.S. to do it the right way.
Exactly.
And that we shit on them by not taking care of the other problem, which is people coming here. And you know what? And I don't blame them either. This is a great country, and they come over here to have a better life because hell, look at the state of South America right now. I mean, Mexico's pretty crazy all the time, and then there's several countries going through like their own little civil war shit. I would want to. Hey, if I had to, swim across the Rio Grande too to get into a better spot for me and my family, I would too. So I don't blame them. But hey, this is the U.S., not Mexico, not Venezuela, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Brazil, Chile, and it's not anywhere else. This is the U.S. I believe what Teddy Roosevelt said when he said that you should come here, you should learn our history and our language, and you should become pretty much part of our team, not I'm here, but you guys should respect you should respect where I came from.
Well, you're right, Dale. Do it the right way. Just do it the right way. Being of my many ex-wives that I have, one of them was an immigrant, and them shits are expensive to do it right. Well, she finally was legit and got through
and it takes
systems.
a long time.
And it takes a long fucking time.
Like sometimes it takes up to sometimes it takes up to 5 years just to get a work visa and shit. I mean, let alone get your full status and everything. It's tough. Even those folks that decide to come in and join the military to get citizenship, it still takes forever, and not everyone gets it, which is some shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive stuff. I mean, my ex-wife went through the process, and it was unreal amount of how many fees that were used for processing. But the thing is that the amount of money that is used to get smuggled across the border from the south, if they were to just use that money to apply, like everyone else does, it would be an issue. I don't feel sorry for anybody about stuff like that when it comes to, because I've had illegal immigration in my family, and once they got on notice, they unfucked themselves quick. Because oh shit, damn, done. You got fucking visas, just like when you have a visa, like literally when you go to TJ and you go to Tijuana, you're basically doing the same thing an illegal alien does sometimes. Just walk right across the border. You can just fucking do it. It's easy. Unless obviously you're going through one of the points that obviously are in the middle of freaking nowhere in Arizona or Texas, then yeah, I could see you. You're probably up to no good. But if you ever go to Tijuana, or if you ever go to some of the areas that have people bridges, you just walk right across. No big deal. Yeah, no issue. Just like any other country. So it's not a bit. The way I see it is that once you get put on notice, what's a tourist visa? Like not even 90 days or something like that. I can't remember. But the point being is that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's
like
about
3 months.
Yeah. So you go through that, and then you have to, at the end of that period of time, either you go to the embassy or your embassy and get your shit renewed. It's easy. And then file, be legal. My biggest thing is like, what's wrong with doing it legally? I want to know what the big deal is about. Why is it hard for someone to go do it in the legal way, not when it comes to doing it, I don't know. We're talking about guns in a closet now. The Donkey Show? No. they want to globalize it. Nah. The way I see it is that if you come over here illegally and you are warned, because I'll be honest with you, sometimes the Border Patrol and DHS will actually give you some lenience on it. You're being cited, you need to report to this court date, blah, 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 and you're going to go, we're going to detain you, blah, blah, blah. If you're not a fucking criminal and you've not been, sometimes they release you.
I mean, people, in the media, they act like if you're an illegal and you get caught, automatically you're going to be thrown in jail. You're going to be, your kids are going to be taken away from you. You're going to be just thrown. They're just going to drive you to the Mexican border and just go, see ya. Like they act like it's, all cloak and dagger, which in fact it's more, some people's opinions, more civilized than it should be. Like you said, they go, hey, you're illegal here, unless you're like, hey, this guy is a mass murderer. Oh, well, you're coming with us. Most of the time it's, you need to go X, Y, and Z. And when you go to either get to be able to stay or get deported, you go through a whole court system and everything, which still takes like a year and a half to even do that. So it's not like you're immediately like, you've been caught, now you're being snatched and you're out of the country within 2 days. But that's what people, proponent for the, we don't need to do anything about legal immigration, will let you believe.
Well, the biggest thing too is when they like try to make it a race issue. I've worked with individuals of that department, and I tell you what, a lot of it is just plain fucking laziness. Sometimes they get told way in advance, "Hey, you fucking go. You need to go. You have 2 months to go see so and so or go talk to so and so to go through your immigration hearing. You better go." And they're like, "No, I'm not gonna show up." And they blow it off. Then they get hit on the fucking. They get pinged on the system, and it's time for them to go. When it's time for Lamigro to show up, they get rounded up. I don't feel sorry for you if you had an opportunity to do it. Now, what makes me mad about this whole Dreamer shit? They were afforded an opportunity to get themselves squared away at that time, and they didn't do it. Just like the veterans that were deported overseas. You hear about those guys, right? That were deported back to Mexico, and there was like a commune. There were some veterans that served in the U.S. military, and they committed some crimes, and part of their standing was they got shipped over, back to Mexico. And so now there's an advocacy group that actually advocates for them, and there's a home for these veterans that are still sitting across the border waiting to come back in, because at the time part of the agreement was that you don't commit any crimes. You serve your 6 years in the military, and then you apply, and you're eligible for that shit. Well, they didn't do it, and so now everyone's crying the blues, saying, "Oh, you guys deported veterans." The guys that worked for the cartels you're talking about, those guys. So it's really one of those things to where there was a process involved. It's almost like you are going to a stadium, and you want to go watch, I don't know, pick your favorite team, and the tickets are sold out. You jump the fence to go in the stadium to watch the game. What do you think is going to happen to you if you get caught?
You're going to be kicked out. You're going
to get kicked out, right? You're not only going to get kicked out, but depending on what you do, you might be held in their tank or get intake, because they're going to run your shit. So that's the same thing. That's the way. I mean, that's the same. I would say I would equate it to that the same fucking analogy. You have America's this giant stadium that's sold out on tickets. You need to go to Ticketmaster or VetTix to get it. And if you can't get your ticket, you can't come in. Then guess what? Then you shit out of luck. Jump the fence, see what happens. So I just laugh when it was, "Oh, you're so heartless. It's so messed up."
No, but you're right. I mean, a lot of it is just, it's just if you do, it's simple rules. I mean, when it's just like when people get mad. I remember we watched, my wife and I were on a show called House. We were on that kick, and this guy got denied for a liver transplant because he had Oh no, it was Scrubs. I think this episode I'm referring to is in Scrubs. It was getting a liver transplant, but had a glass of champagne at his daughter's wedding. Rules are rules. I mean, I won't lie. Like sometimes I can feel bad. Like when they like, oh, they're shipping out these kids. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but these are the rules. When my grandmother, came over from Germany after the war, and with my grandmother, my great grandmother with my grandmother, they had to come in as immigrants into the country. They had to become citizens of the United States of America. They didn't just like come over on a boat and then jump in and and they just lived here. That's not how it happened. Even my Irish immigrants from my dad's side came through New York, like everyone else, had to do all that stuff and had to be citizens and assimilate to the American culture. If you want to come here, that's awesome, and I commend you. Do it. But when you throw that, it's like the common denominator for every argument is that's racist. That law is racist in intent. No, it's not. It's not made. It wasn't made for Mexicans. It wasn't made for Costa Ricans or Brazilians. It was made for everybody. This is the golden rule. You follow it, or you don't get to play. That's just how it is.
Exactly. Everyone's like, DACA. There's some people don't even know what the hell DACA means. It's not DACA. It's just DACA. Do you even know what it means? I mean, nobody. It's deferred action for childhood arrivals is what it's for. And it was an immigration policy that allowed some individuals to enter the country as minors, and who who have had a period of time, a 2-year period of deferred action from deportation to be eligible for work. So what people are not understanding, it's not the Dreamers Act. It's called the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. There is a specific timeline in between that, though, that they had to apply. And I keep going back to this again. If you fucking didn't do your time, then you didn't fucking do it. You're done. Go. See ya. You don't understand that these are
that simple.
These are jobs that Americans don't want to do. Bullshit. How many homeless veterans do you see on the street that would reject a job? Yeah, some of them say we'll work for food, or you know what I mean, whatever.
I mean, if they like you said, they have the opportunity to apply, and they're given a long period. It's not like you need to do this as soon as you turn 18. They are given, they are all given, but it is deferred. It is you need to do this. This is just hey, we got you covered for a while because you had no choice. You were brought here as a kid. You don't know anything else. We're going to give you that compassion. But then they, when that got repealed, they're sitting there, I'm going to send back to a country that I've never even spoken the language. I'm like, then what were you doing for those 20-something, for the 10 years you've been out of high school that you've been getting your liberal arts degree in douchery instead of, hey,
yeah, exactly.
Hey, this is on the list of things I need to do. Get milk.
Yep. And why
say hi to the postman? And if apply for citizenship.
Exactly.
I'll wait till then.
Yeah. Or if you were saying that you're getting deported to a country that you've never been to, or you don't support, or you're an American, so why did I just see you waving a Mexican flag in the fucking streets?
Yeah, that I've seen a couple of. I know Fox. Sometimes they come out with stuff, and I'm like, got you. But they like some of the same people that were I can't believe they're kicking us out of this country, with the same ones that are like rocking their host country flag or their origin flag, and I'm like, man, that's hey, you want to go back, you want to be Mexican so bad, then by all means.
Or Guatemalan, or whatever. Pick your Latin American countries. I want people to say, "Oh, you guys talk about Mexicans." No, we're not.
Shit, or any country, but if you're brought over here as a kid, were given certain leniencies because you had no choice. You're 2 years old, and getting smuggled into to the United States. The U.S. has their compassion, but then once you become an adult, there's a ticking time on that, and if you decide to push it off because that's the least, they're not going to kick me out, just that and the other. Hey, guess what? I guarantee they all got a rude awakening, because now they're all like, shit, let's push this shit through.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, that's everyone, and well, they're using that to push an agenda too. It's not obviously I mean, honestly, think about the politicians. They could give two shits less. These are the same politicians that don't want these immigrants. If you want to sit there and fight for these immigrants to stay here, then have them move in next to your house. Or Barbara Boxer and Nancy Pelosi, you can tell them. Oh, tell them that the ones that are picking grapes in your fucking fields.
Oh, don't even talk to me about Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah,
That
she's
two-faced lying sack of shit. Now defending what's it? John Conway, or whatever.
Conyers, yeah, Conyers, yeah.
For his sexual harassment allegation, to defending him. Oh wait, and this was the same person who defended Bill Clinton. Yet when Ralph Moore, the guy, Alabama senator, is getting his own stuff, and then she can't help but scream from the rafters how he's such a horrible, deployable person. Yet her son, she can't be. Yeah, fuck Nancy Pelosi, that scary looking witch looking.
Damn.
Old turkey neck looking.
Look who got triggered now. Damn. Flash, geeky Flash. No, again, I these are the same individuals that would not even have any of these immigrants living next to them. They wouldn't. Exactly that, Al. Compassion can only last so long. Eventually, you have to be real. No, you have to follow the freaking law. Exactly. Yeah, compassion so long. How long are you going to sit there and get, oh my God, we can't, this bring us your poor, tired, sick, and hungry, but go through a process. Because you know what was right below that? When under that fucking, everyone was like, well, the Statue of Liberty says bring your home, bring your poor, tired, sick, and only, and tired, and hungry, and all that stuff. Yeah, but you know what was right below that? The Ellis Island processing station. The Ellis Island processing station made sure that your ass was processed to come into this country. Yeah, come into this country. We will help you out. We will give you a fair shake, and then we will, whatever. Just come in here and give us some. We'll give you like a couple $100 cash or something like that. And if you have no family or you're by yourself, and there you go. Yeah, go long. We live long and prosper. Have fun. Everyone else didn't seem to have an issue that when they did it in New York. That's what blows me away. The large populations of Italians and Irish in the upper Northeast. I didn't seem to have any problems when for them to go through all their shit. And the Germans.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But hey, because the hot topic of today is in fact that the largest part of illegal immigration is not coming from not Canadians coming down. It's our brothers and sisters in the South or beyond the border coming up to us. So it's one of those things where while it's not directed at them because I like to think that they try to do things as a coverall for everyone, but the problem is not. You don't see a lot of Germans trying to come over here right now. The problem is you're getting a lot of people because their whole situation from Venezuela and all that shit and all that area around there is garbage. I mean, shit. There's one country that's like can't even. They mentioned on BBC or something that people are starting to kill their own dogs for food because they have none, because this whole civil war is just killing everybody.
Oh, win the war. Win the war. You know what I mean? Just I mean, there's just it's like natural selection. It's one of those things there's just some countries that weren't meant to be countries, or the natural course of things. Shit happens. Now, of course, if refugees come over and they want to help out, and you were like, no shit. Like, remember when Syria was happening and all these refugees were coming over and these dudes looked like they were fucking bodybuilders and shit?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, think about the children.
When people are like, hey, there's more men than women and children here.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, so that means the women and children were left to fend for themselves in that country, in that war-torn area, but the dude said, eh. Goes to show, yeah, exactly. But it's never exactly that. As NCOs, we learned that we learn without soldiers, you have to earn your life, and it's not given. Something given is never respected. Exactly. Earn your freaking citizenship. There's people who I've known that have come over here that have working their asses off, that have done the right thing, that have paid their dues, paid the money, paid all the processing fees, and then have become citizens of the U.S. Congrats. I love it. That's what it's all about. But then don't look at that individual. That's kind of funny. Not kind of funny, but I wonder what happened with somebody who did it right is sitting next to somebody who didn't do it right. I wonder what the conversation would be like then.
Well, they're called racist because when there's several people that were either in the news, because Fox couldn't help but put them on the news, but or on social media or whatnot, and they were like, "Hey, I spent X amount of years trying to do this. My kid, I did X, Y, and Z. I had to do all this because this meant more to me than anything else, and I want to be a citizen." And then immediately the first comment on their thread is, "You're a racist."
Well, not to mention the fact that just because you're talking about it, you can't even talk about it anymore.
No, you can't.
You can't even talk about it. Somebody gets the ass.
Because we have to have some kind of safe space for you. I mean, and I always,
Exactly.
I hate using all the damn the millennials caricatures that are happening with the triggered and safe space and blah blah blah. And I like to use them more in jest than anything else. But it's kind of hard not to sometimes if you bring up any hey, this isn't against anyone who's of Hispanic heritage. It's been our country's policy forever, and they immediately go, well, triggered. I can't, this. You're being a racist.
I wonder,
when did being a competent citizen of the United States become being a racist? Like, when did that happen? Is that when Starbucks came out and everyone decided, well, you don't like Starbucks, you're a racist. This will solve everything. Call everyone a racist.
Welcome to Starbucks and enjoy the new racist pumpkin spice latte. racist spice latte. But no way, dude. Again, you do not. It shouldn't be used. It shouldn't be phrased like that. It's almost, you might as well just beat your head up against a fucking wall, because there's just going to be people that are not going to get it. There are people that are not going to get the fact that you can't be here if you're not processed your paperwork here and you're illegal. You're illegal. That's it. There's no. I don't like that term, illegal alien. Well, you are. What about okay, so a murderer? You don't like that term even though they killed somebody? Murdered somebody?
Oh, I love undocumented what is it? Undocumented immigrant instead of illegal.
That even sounds that sounds worse.
It's like it's apparently they've been you'll see MSNBC, Rachel Maddow throws that all the time.
Yeah,
and she's
that dude.
Undocumented immigrants. I'm like, tomato. They're still the same damn thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. In the public affairs world, we do pick our when we're doing hot button issues, we try to pick our words the best way possible. And to me, if you say undocumented opposed to illegal, there's going to you think two different things, but it's still the same thing. But it's like everyone's saying in the chat, it is a political agenda. These people that are fighting for, oh, we need a blah 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 blah, do not care about them whatsoever. The same way no politician cares about anyone really.
No.
The only politicians that don't care about or that care about their constituents are the ones you never see in the news.
Yeah, like lobbyists, large corporations that fund them. PACs, super PACs,
those small representatives from Georgia, South Carolina, or New York or something that never get into the news because they aren't trying to make a name so they can become president, are the only ones that are usually the ones that actually are out doing stuff with their constituents your Mr. Smith Goes to Washington types.
Yeah.
Those are the people, the ones you don't see, the ones you see in the news, I guarantee, on both sides of the aisle, or all three sides, if you're an independent or libertarian or whatnot, doesn't matter. If they're in the news, 9 times out of 10, they do not give a fuck about you.
Nope.
And they're just saying whatever helps their base and helps them get. It's the ones that you don't like. Hey, that seat's open. I've never heard of that guy before. You know why? Because he's actually been doing probably the right thing. Him and her have probably been doing the right thing this whole time. But
the thing about
it's politics. And
the thing about this though, being undocumented to me sounds. It's almost. I think that's a slur in itself. That's like saying a dog. How a dog doesn't have papers. You know what I mean?
We're on the lookout for undocumented German shepherds around here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then how do you know it's a German shepherd? Oh, I mean, you don't know because it's undocumented, right? You get papers, right? Everyone. I mean, think about it. Everyone has a paper to it. When you become a citizen of the U.S. or you get your immigration stuff, do you know what you get? You get this link. This it looks like it was printed from the U.S. Mint. It looks like a birth certificate. It's all.
I got a birth certificate, social security card. Hey, hell, my great grandmother, and I think my mom still has it. Has my great grandmother's immigration papers when she came over to the U.S. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
mean, you're given so much stuff.
You're given so much
But
stuff.
I guess I can hear it. Like if you say undocumented, it might sound worse than illegal.
Yeah, I
To
think
me,
it does.
illegal alien illegal immigrant sounds like they've committed crimes
Because they have.
while they've
Because they
Yeah.
have. They have committed. That's why they're called an illegal immigrant, is because they have committed a crime coming to the U.S. Without, if everyone's like, oh, well, what about your family members, Ice? You said you have some. Yes, I say the same thing. You can ask my family members. I didn't hang out with the Latino side of the family this Thanksgiving, but when I do hang out with them during holidays, it gets pretty heated. Especially when you start talking about A-10s along the border and demilitarized zone type of preventive measures, because that way the cartels can know how to fucking, you know what I mean? Do some stuff like that, and it gets family conversation rolling up pretty good. And they are illegal. They are illegal aliens. Or immigrants. I'm sorry. I'm dating my lexiconal vernacular here. Yeah, they're illegal immigrants. Why? Because they committed a crime coming over here illegally. I don't think I had to spell it out, but apparently we did. Democrats are red, Republicans are blue. Neither one of them gives a shirt about you. That's right. They don't give you a shirt. You mean shit? You can say that, Dale. We're not going to get upset. Nobody gives a shit about you. Actually, that's the problem. They give too much T-shirts out. That's got Che on there. You can't spell douche without Che. But yeah, they don't care. The politicians don't care about you at all. I mean, think about how the watching Netflix, because I got a lot of dad time now. Watching Netflix. And you start watching all these documentaries of how the election went, how the primaries went. And I'm talking about both sides too. There's some. I'm surprised there hasn't been a huge implosion within the Democratic Party about Bernie Sanders. How he got his shit fucking. I think he got the shit taken. If anybody else is talking about robbing the election or all, I think he got his shit taken.
Like,
you can't blame Russians on that.
I was talking with a more liberal friend of mine, and I was like, did you vote? No. I was like, why not? And he was like, the election was, the election wasn't fair. And he said, we knew it, why were they going to vote for something that wasn't fair? And I'm like, I know what you're talking about. And I don't get it. They stole and they wonder why. And this is one of what I consider the ailments of the Democratic Party when it came to going against Donald Trump for the presidency, is that Hillary Clinton never was a really likable person from the start.
No, she was not.
From the start, she never was. There were some people that loved the hell out of her, like she could walk on water and produce bread and fish to the masses, and then there was others that just hated her guts. And then she's done so much stuff, and don't get me wrong, she's been in politics longer than I've been alive. And she, and then to have the DNC come up and pretty much between the super delegates, which I think that's a load of shit, and I think that some of the Democrats are actually being vocal about it, and they might actually get rid of it. But between the super delegates, they're like, oh, Bernie Sanders won all these state primaries. How's he doing in the race? Oh, he's losing because he doesn't have the 40 super delegates that came with it. They all went to Hillary Clinton. What? And then they pretty much jacked the election from him. Do I think Bernie Sanders could have beat Trump? I don't know, because the Democratic the folks on the left side of life were kind of split. They were either a Bernie fan or a Hillary fan, and the same thing might happen. But you, instead of maybe getting some of the people that voted, hey, Bernie Sanders didn't win, and that's sorry, but you still have hope. No, what happened was the Podesta emails came out, and Bernie Sanders got the carpet right under his feet, gone.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The DNC pretty much went, it's Hillary Clinton's turn. While you may be coming up with radical ideas, not ideas that I subscribe to, but still radical ideas for this base and invigorating all these college youth and high schoolers that never, of course, a lot of them are stupid, but never have voted or never were involved in politics. Got them all this huge base, and then pretty much said and pulled the plug on that and said, nah, fuck those guys, we don't need them. and that's what happened. They barely got any of those votes because they have, because at the time I was voting Republican, hoping that I liked Ted Cruz a little. I mean, there was never anyone who really wowed me, but what's it, Graham? I did like him though. But it's like if I was hoping for, say, for argument's sake, I was hoping for Santorum, and Santorum was doing good. He's saying all these things, and all of a sudden he just pulls out, and then I find out that the election got stole from him. I wouldn't have voted for anybody. That week, I would have been like, hey, I would tell my work, I'm voting, I'm not coming in that day, and I would just stay at home and watch Netflix. And that's essentially what happened. These kids, the base for Bernie Sanders pretty much went, fuck you, Donald Trump, and fuck you, Hillary Clinton. I'm just not going to vote. And then or they voted for my boy Gary Johnson, the crazy pot smoking. Hey, I love the man. The fact that he faked a heart attack on stage because of marijuana causes heart disease and heart attacks or stuff, and he just was priceless.
Yes.
But, and they wonder why Donald Trump won. It's like there's no single factor. Misogynist and racism didn't help Donald Trump win. That's retarded. Russia may have put out ads in metal, but they weren't a leading cause for Donald Trump winning. It was a lot of factors. A lot of it was nepotism, and a lot of it was everyone thinking they deserve it or they're owed to be in this office. And then guess what? The guy who no one thought would actually make it. I mean, hell, what's his name? Was it Stephen Colbert who dared Donald Trump to run?
He did. Matter of fact, all the late night comedians were talking trash about him, just laughing at him.
I won't lie. On my Facebook, I'd even said, like, if Donald Trump runs, I'm voting for him. Like, when he first came out, like, I had a friend of mine, because we were arguing about something, and he found this one Facebook status that I had right when he was about to announce, and I said, this is hilarious. If Donald Trump runs, I'm voting for him. So he used that as you're a Donald Trump supporter. I'm like, I thought it would be funny at the time. I didn't think he was serious. But
no, but
it's
what I mean, my how can I say, my opportunity to vote was stolen from me because the precinct in which I was in, several precincts in the state that I voted from were under investigation for voter fraud, and my vote counted for at least 5,000 for both sides because they fucked up the ballots. Or the precincts in question that was investigated got whatever. So my vote really didn't get to count. So
and that's a shame. I know Virginia was hoping for the Republicans were hoping for more of a turnout because they got swept across the board here in Virginia.
Well, not only that, but they don't. Nope, like you said, nobody saw it coming. And I think everybody else said the same thing. Everyone was like, "Oh, fuck it, we're just gonna vote for him anyways. Fuck it."
Everyone thought Hillary Clinton was gonna win. Hell, they had her by at one point at least a 10-point favorite.
Not only
10 points across the board.
10 points across the board, exactly. And they also had her winning the majority of the popular vote. Which, come to find out, I guess she didn't win all the popular vote, like everyone said. Whatever. Did she or did she not win the popular vote? I mean, it shouldn't fucking matter.
I heard last thing I read was she won the popular vote, but it wasn't as wide of a margin. Now that margin is still, it's a couple million, but it wasn't as many. Like it wasn't the huge. It wasn't like won it by like X amount. It was more of a smaller percentage, but she still won the popular vote. But if you think about it, that's L.A., New York City, Seattle, Miami, and D.C., Arlington County, D.C. or whatnot, where we have in Chicago, high population density areas that voted Hillary Clinton, opposed to the ones that are like the farmers of Iowa and shit like that.
Well, she also said we're going to put the coal miners out of business, and then they confronted her.
Yeah, and then she decides, hey, after saying this, I'm going to go to West Virginia and talk to the coal miners and tell them, and like, well, no, I really didn't say like that.
Yeah, and then she started going like coming unhinged. So I mean, think about it. A lot of it really wasn't. I mean, think about it though, man. Did we really want? I mean, I'm not saying that because I don't go fuck. Don't call me what you want. I'm not a Trumpster. But do you really want her? Did anybody really want her in politics? Did you really?
I didn't.
I mean,
and I love how everyone's jumping. Like, she came out with her book and was blaming this and that, and I forget which news organization came out, but like, Hillary Clinton needs to go away.
It was I think it was MSNBC or something like that said that.
And that was the first time I was just like, God bless you guys. Like, let me get my ordained minister Bible out and go, God bless you, my sons, for saying. But everyone's jumping. Like, was it that the one chick who got the one female who got in trouble for quote unquote giving away the questions to one of the debates to Hillary Clinton?
Donna Brazile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came out and was saying how after her whole fainting thing after the 9/11 ceremony last year, that they were going to replace her with Joe Biden and all this stuff, and just everyone's just like, after she's like, oh, she's starting to fade away, her powers. Throw shade. dive, fuck this bitch. Like, and then Brazil came out and was like, well, I didn't say that, and they're like, we could play the tape.
Yeah, exactly, and well, not to mention the fact there was also Debbie Wasserman Schultz too. That.
Oh yeah, that's another scary looking woman.
Yeah, just dude. Man.
Don't get me wrong, I'm no catch. I think my wife's partially blind, but but damn.
That's why well, see, the medication.
Sorry, that made me a sexist. I apologize. No one's gonna get mad at me. Flash is sexist. He called her ugly. Well, I'm ugly too, so I get a pass on that. Fuck you.
Oh man, calm down, Shrek.
Hey, there's a reason why I'm on radio.
Oh man, mine just come out of their fucking medicinal stupor, and they realize that they're married to me. That's why I go through so many ex-wives. So they're like, "What the fuck? Who the hell are you?" Surprise. We're married. The fuck we are.
It's like that. It's like the sequel to Overboard.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Again, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent about that shit. That was just one of those things to where people are just talking about that shit, and I'm just getting tired of. You can't watch anything now without anybody slamming the fucking anything. I just thought I brought that thing up about the Code Talkers because your WTF Nation Radio is not going to fucking pull punches. We were even going to talk about D. Treasy. If you're, dude, you should have saved it. You should have saved that for comment for something afterwards or something like that.
That would have been a coul, like, I won't say cool, but I would say that would have been a more appropriate, like, after he's talking to reporters and like later and it's like it's like, hey, these are great guys.
Exactly.
Unlike Pocahontas from. Then I would have been
exactly.
That's more funny than disrespectful.
Exactly. You'd have been. I would have told him to say this. Hey, sir, when you have the press corps come in here after the ceremony, say, hey, look, I hosted real Indians in the White House. You know what I mean? It's just one of those. Well, yeah. That would have been more. I mean, it still would have been, but that still would have been funnier and more appropriate outside the ceremony.
I use appropriate in the very loose sense when I'm talking about our dear leader. but I mean, I felt so bad because the way I see it, those are veterans, and those veterans had just got, who were being honored in front of the whole country and everything, just got disrespected because Donald Trump could not keep politics out of this.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't have to mention Senator Warren. Yes, I understand where the bridge, because he's talking to Native Americans who kicked ass, and talking about a quote unquote check the box Native American who doesn't kick ass. But while that may be he took away, and those guys didn't deserve it. They've all been through hell. And Native Americans, those guys have, I guarantee, were going through hell before the war, during the war, and after the war. Because think about the time and where we were as a country, and if you weren't white, how you were treated. I guarantee those guys, it wasn't all rainbow and sunshine for them, but that's not this. It's just not the time to do that to those guys. Those guys deserve our president's full attention and just not bring politics into it. And what we got was that. And while it is only one sentence, and barely a sentence because the man doesn't know how to speak in actual sentences, he speaks in like weird punctuation, compound fracture, and shit like that. Oh my! The way he puts words, it's thoughts together. I'm just like, where's your brain at?
He doesn't have like
Where you-
he doesn't have that rhythmic. He doesn't have that he does not have rhythmic enunciation.
complete. It's like he's trying to say three different thoughts at the same time, and they're just intermeshing.
And you don't know if he said a question or a statement. I mean, you know what I mean? I was expecting him to not only say that, but also give him Redskins tickets or something like that. You know what I mean?
I just, you don't know what he's saying, but you just kind of like to stare at him, just like, did anyone else get that? Like, I'm glad I don't do anything, I'm not a reporter covering the White House, because I'd hate to have to quote the president.
Oh, I know.
Because you'd have to every time you'd have to paraphrase him, and then you're like, does this? Because there are rules to paraphrasing, and you have to make sure they meet the same intent and stuff like that. And there's only so much you could paraphrase, but even still, you're just like, does this sound like what he said? We don't even know what he said, so just sure.
Was he asking a question or making a statement? What was he talking about, anyways? Well, I'll tell
We
you.
don't know exactly what's going on here right now,
but dude, why did you let him give up the script book?
Although we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago.
I just think that somebody was sitting there just like, well, shit.
I'm just
like that's exactly what happened. Was somebody just was like, when he gave it, you know what? And that was a touching. I was like, wow, that's actually, as an outsider, I was like, oh, that's touching. And then somebody like their speechwriter, their strategic communications, public affairs, all the people are all like, fuck, no.
Yeah, don't. Why did you give him the book? Why did you? Oh my God, he gave him the script. He gave him the speech book. What are you?
Somebody immediately is like, hey, I'm good. Happy hour?
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody?
Who's the strategic communications guy? Exactly. I don't know. Who is a strategic communications? Isn't it like some freaking?
I don't know. They've gone through so many. They've reached. I mean, after the shortest press secretary guy, they've restructured how they do White House communications, which has been pretty interesting because usually they keep the same formula. And I actually did see a couple of one or two spots. Like they're looking for interns and certain things, but they've restructured their whole strategic communications and mass communications for the White House. So I don't know, but I guarantee every one of them, I guarantee they have an open bar in their office.
I want to apply.
I guarantee there's just alcohol flowing because you got to do what you got to do to live through this.
I would apply. Could you imagine?
I don't have the fortitude for that.
What happened to Ice? He just disappeared, man. And all of a sudden you hear a voice, a familiar voice coming across the airwaves. Or a familiar voice coming across a freaking, what do you think?
I always said when I was getting out of active duty and applying to jobs, there's only two organizations that I could not work for, and that's public affairs, and that's Planned Parenthood and the VA. Politics aside, that's not the reason. The reason is they could not afford me for as many Sabo rounds as I would take to the face every single day to work for them.
That is true.
And even the White House could not afford me.
No.
My patriotic sense of awesomeness is like, nah, I'm good.
No, but the thing about this though, Flash, is that you also have to take the brunt of what you say to respond, because you have the White House Chief of Staff and the White House staff grilling your ass. Why did you answer like that, Flash? How come you didn't say it like this, Flash? Or, you know what I mean? And then I would. Yeah, you're right. I would have the job maybe a week. I just
couldn't do it. No matter what you do, you're wrong, because everyone's going to take at least, you might say something and it might seem perfect, and a couple organizations come out and go, oh, this was said, and then somebody will take a left turn on it, and then all of a sudden you're shit. And it only takes, and I just, I'm glad, I feel bad for those people, and when they come out of this administration and they're like, hey, you made it through this and didn't get fired, you can have any job you want. Because if you can do that, then you're good to go.
That should be like elevation status. You know what I mean? After you survived a tour of that, then you get to go do whatever you want afterwards. It's almost like joining the SFAB. You know what I mean? After you're done doing SFAB time, then you get to go to any units you want.
It's like, hey, welcome. You can work for Google. If you can survive that craziness, you can work anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna go ahead and cut some house cleaning.
House cleaning.
We got hey, real quick. I just want to say hey to the Browns, Andy and Pat. They're out doing their vacation. The members of War Horses for Veterans. They're out there goofing off and chilling in Bora Bora in the French Polynesia. So I just want to say hi. I'm friends with them on Facebook, and then they're showing me some stuff. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool and nice. You know, Andy and Pat look like they're having a great time. So today we had Dick Darling from the Trees for Troops. You'll be able to catch him on the podcast. Just again, we got the page and the Facebook page tagged on our post of the guest tonight. Tomorrow we have David Jordan from We Got Your Six. We Got Your Six is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping homeless veterans rebuild their lives and redevelop their self-confidence. I love these guys right here because they're not part of the grievance machine. They're not part of the feel sorry for me kick. They are to us to get you on your feet and get you out there and get you back in the workforce so that way you can go back and building a stable life. These guys, I love what these guys do. I'd rather have this. These type of guys doing this shit and uplifting our veterans that are going through some hard times than the ones that are just pandering to them so that way they can make a fucking dime off of them. That's just me. We got Luis Fernandez from Conus Battle Drills coming on. One of his quotes that he says, "I don't pull punches. I'm not surgical in my approach. I will not coddle you, and I will not feel pity for you. You are fucking killers and survivors of the greatest fighting force humanity has ever known, and I will treat you as such. Sometimes, however, you need some guidance, and that's why I created Conus Battle Drills." Dude is awesome. So he's going to be on Saturday. Great guest. 2 uplifting guests coming up this week. It's going to be awesome. And then we're going to have, we have another person come from Connecting Vets again. We were talking about this, we had, what's his name? Who do we have on here? Jonathan Kophanger from CBS Radio's Connecting Vets. Now we're going to have Matt Sensing. He covers Capitol Hill full-time for CBS Radio, ConnectingVets.com, and reporting the legislation impacting veterans. He was a signal analyst guy for the 101st. So I won't hold that against him. But, no, he's all right. But, anyways, so after he got out of the military, he used his post-9/11 GI Bills to the fullest and completing a bachelor's degree in government and world affairs from the University of Tampa, undertaking a semester of study from the University of Oxford, obtaining a master's degree in political science from Ohio University. So, he's reporting on defense issues for Japan's second largest newspaper, the Asahi Shimbun. Really? You're gonna freaking give me some names here that I can't even pronounce. But anywho, he's gonna be on Monday. We had him before, and then we had Car Santa on December 7th for Sergeant's Time. Car Santa is a nonprofit organization that provides free, reliable transportation to veterans and their family that are otherwise not available to obtain transportation for themselves. So, carsforheroes.org. So we got, of course, our partners, War Horses for Veterans, and our terrestrial radio partner. We have KHB and the Veterans Report, sponsored by James Cannon. On Project Overwatch, Paw Patrol. I think that covers it. We appreciate you guys coming on. Yeah, I know. We're coming up early, but we got stuff to do. Everyone's catching back up, and I want to be able to make sure that this podcast can get loaded up for you guys to listen to in the end. So don't forget, we got a show every night. We were off for the Thanksgiving weekend, but now we're going to be back in sync. Again, Wednesday is going to be our day off to kind of reconnoiter and collect ourselves. But from 20 to 2300 Eastern Standard Time, we have a show Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, I said Sunday because the Green Room is going to make their return as well. Kind of curious to see who they're going to have back on there. But they are the ones that fully believe in the 420 experience / DD214 required. They have the cannabis analysts to bring you all the information. And it's not just a bunch of dudes talking about smoking weed and whatever. It's actually discussing legislation and discussing the medicinal purposes and medicinal uses for treatments of PTS and PTSD. So it's not like just a bunch of guys going, "Hey man, is that Freedom Rock? Turn it up." It's not like that. They're having some in-depth conversations, and we also have people that like to call in. Normally, when I say give us a call or whatever, I'll tell you guys to give us a call. Don't worry about it. If you don't know what the number is, you can just scroll down, and then you can see the 415-889-8367. So with that, I'd like to thank you for coming on. Thank you, Flash and Mama, for joining me tonight. And then with that, shots. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.
How it is that a hero needs saving, how he needs that support to keep his roof from caving, holding tight on that 45 as a tear drops from his eye. Picturing his mom is all that's kept him alive, cause he's buried his friends and he's buried his thoughts, suppress these demons inside until his stomach's in knots.
We used
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is